boys at all in the temple. Maybe don't let us go up there, but there are a lot of...
Old City Square has 51 5 degrees of freedom. Make me...
On the way home, I got hungry, and I ate it.
We're Americans, and we only like competition, okay? I'm eating, and I'm reading a book, and this waitress comes up.
Can you put some goji berries in my Dropbox, please? Is this GoPro farm to table? NFL anywhere! You can watch the NFL anywhere, then why can't I watch it on the damn toilet, Linda? The only exercise I get is chasing those damn gypsies up my lawn.
Let's do it.
They're like, oh, trick or treat. Well, guess what? We already got tricked. It's called Pearl Harbor. Guess what? We already got tricked. It's called Pearl Harbor.
Drunk on Mike. I think you're a little too drunk.
Yeah, I got trapped in a corn maze. Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry. I'm Native American. Caribbean queen. Caribbean queen. So I'm not a jack of all lanterns, okay? So I don't know how to commit murder with Loyola Davis, okay? So I'm not a graveyard smash, okay? That's not me.
That's not anyone.
Hey, can you hear a joke? What is black and white and red all over?
Newspaper?
Oh no, that's better. I was gonna say something super racist, so yeah. You wanna hear a joke?
Sure.
What is black and white and red all over?
Newspaper?
Oh no, that's better. I was gonna say something super racist, so yeah.
Sure. Go to everybody.
My God! You killed a hooker! No, Cyril, when they're dead, they're just hookers.
It would be rude not to eat her pie, which I assume is not only hot, but also moist. Although, hopefully not.
Ironic, isn't it?
It would be rude not to eat her pie, which I assume is not only hot, but also post-traumatic stress disorder,
But he drinks a lot, so
yeah, I think I've got a pretty good handle on it. Would you close your eyes? I kind of feel like I'm banging taillights on a country road. Close your eyes. I kind of feel like I'm banging taillights on a country road. I'm scared if I stop all at once, the cumulative hangover will literally kill me. Would you say we'd be venturing into a zone of danger? Would you say we'd be venturing into a zone of danger?
Oh my God! You killed a hooker!
Call girls!
No, Cyril, when they're dead, they're just hookers! Oh my God! You killed a hooker!
Call girls!
No, Cyril, when they're dead, they're just hookers! Ironic, isn't it?
Which I assume is not only hot, but also moist. Although.
Are you insane?
Maybe some mild post-traumatic stress disorder, but
he drinks a lot, so
yeah, I think I've got a pretty good handle on it.
Are you insane?
Maybe some mild post-traumatic stress disorder.
but he drinks a lot.
So yeah, I think I've got a pretty good handle on it. Handle.
When they're dead, they're just hookers.
The thermostat's becoming sentient. Oh God, that's how maximum overdrive started. That's how maximum overdrive started. Did you close your eyes? I kind of feel like I'm banging taillights on a country road. Close your eyes. I kind of feel like I'm banging taillights on a country road.
Danger zone.
Danger zone.
I'm scared if I stop all at once, the cumulative hangover will literally
kill him. All right, folks, those last tracks you just heard were produced by me. I'm sure that some of you have heard some of the background noises that kind of, But anyways, there's not a handsome man on the screen. But anyways, so if you enjoyed those tracks, you're welcome. I guess I can always upload them to some certain places, and if anybody wants them, I'll send them to you. Otherwise, we'll be playing them on here. Welcome, folks, ladies, gentlemen, aliens, beings of all kind. Welcome to the show. The dumbass cooking shit. No, wrong thing. Never mind. That's somebody else. That's not here. We're not Dave. I don't know. Is he the asshole? It doesn't matter. So let's get into the shite of the stuff. It looks like we have a nice amount of people in the side chat, and we have a couple lovely guests as well while we go over the insanity. If you have not gone over, wait, hold on. If you've not gone over and voted in the poll, please go do that. Right now, we're a transphobic hippies. yes, folks, the way that I word certain things is to like shorten them so that I can get 150 characters in. I think that's what the limit is or something like that. And or I do try to technically clickbait y'all. Yes, that's now we got the no pants tube bride, right? And I because it said tube, I guess I could because it said tube, I had to add, so that's why I said train, because it's technically a train, I guess. Maybe I should have said subway. It's probably a subway, right? It's underground, so it's probably that. Anyways, let's blow on and let's bring in our guests, and let's start with, let's do this as always.
Wait a second. Are you a flat earther?
Yes, I'm totally a flat earther. I love that pancake planet. Anyways, let's bring in our first guest, and it is
Mama.
Oh, Mama.
Hello.
how are
Hi, everybody
you
in
doing?
side chat. I'm doing good. Have
Awesome.
internet again.
Yeah. Well, so we're very glad that you're here and you're able to make it. Hopefully the storm doesn't kick
I
you
hope
out.
not. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So let's bring in our next guest.
But some people without brains do an awful lot of talking, don't they?
Yes, I guess you're right.
That is why we bring in our brainless, because he talks a lot.
Sometimes I say dumb shit. Sometimes I say very dumb shit in side chats. Hi,
Hey, Brainless.
Mom.
All right.
I was
and,
being a bit of a dick.
and
Not a problem.
of course, our next guest, I'm still working on getting their intro made so that I don't have to like go to the interwebs, because it was from a TV show that YouTube sells. It's harder to download and clip. So that's why it hasn't been yet. It will happen very soon. I have the Mangoes working on it, but she's a very busy person. So it will be here very soon. But let's bring in our last guest, or the guest that we have backstage. Hi, Vila. How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. Managed to have another fucking mishap of the day as well.
What happened?
Okay. I was taking the Christmas tree down.
Okay.
Unbeknownst to me, a fucking spider had made a lovely little house in my Christmas tree.
Of course.
Unbeknownst to me, it decided that my hair was a good replacement for the Christmas tree.
Oh, jeez.
And I didn't notice it was on there until I felt some tickling. Give it a little like, what's going on? Nothing else. Next I see, it is dangling from my head. It is in between my eyes, and you just hear me suddenly go like, and start like flaming at my face.
Yeah.
It was a thing, and it was, yeah.
Oh, that spider, burn it.
I know, I don't mind spiders. It was the fact that it made me jump. Like, I was not expecting it. So all of a sudden, it's just that, and I'm like, that like initial like reaction, like, what is that?
Yeah, totally.
We get black widows here, and they're being driven indoors now because of the rain and stuff. My husband found a male one the other night, which now I know what the male ones look like, and killed it.
They're a little brown, right?
Yeah, they're not the same as a female. Yeah.
Yeah, no, totally.
We've had tons of females in the house we've had to kill. Thank God nobody's been bitten yet.
We don't have those. The closest to like a venomous spider is the wolf spider.
The wolf?
Yes.
Okay.
We have those here as well. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And like they are like they're like a house spider here.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Even though technically they're all fine. Oh, brown recluses. Yeah, we have those.
That's what we have here in Colorado, I think, is the brown recluse.
I had a brown recluse in my fucking trousers once.
Oh no.
Jeez, I've seen a handful of them.
One of my ex's parents owned a like proper Tudor manor house, right?
Okay.
They were rich. Like the stepdad was a proper London banker. The house is worth $1 million. Since his parents didn't want him around, there was a converted oast house. So he lived in the converted oast house.
Okay.
So Tudor barn converted into a flat, but it's still Tudor looking. inside and out. So lots of spiders in the middle of the countryside. I'd left my bottoms on the floor.
Yeah.
A spider had crawled into them, and I put them on, and it was still alive, moving inside my trousers. You could see the little bulge moving, and I'm like, I'm going to get bitten. So I had to quickly grab it and pull it away from my skin.
Yeah.
There's no way that I couldn't not kill it doing that, and I feel bad, but I had to have it not.
You're very lucky that you didn't get bitten at all, because like Ox is saying over here, he has scars from being bitten by one, and most people that do end up with some kind of deformity in the area, or something happens with necrosis, no matter what, almost with those. And I'm sure the same with black widows, but I've heard worse stories with brown recluses than I have black widows.
I have too. They get like in hats and things like that. Yeah, like
black widows seem to just poison. Black widows seem to just poison you, and it's not like necrosis on the area.
I think
like
it's brown recluses have a pathogen or something in their spit. That's what causes necrosis, whereas black widows are just venomous. Like,
it's venomous, but it's very painful, and people can have lasting
it's not
pain
fun, but it's for killing smaller things, where brown recluses is for like taking out big ass
like Harry Warp says, black widow poison causes your muscles to contract.
Yeah.
So it's like a major Charlie horse, I'm guessing, when you get bitten by one.
Like, most people don't, like, a lot of people that get bitten don't die from the venom.
No.
A lot of people die from the reaction the venom itself causes, or the after effects of it.
Totally.
And like brown recluses, because they're bigger, they're ballsier.
Mm-hmm.
Black widows, they're not going to like most spiders.
They try to hide
people.
Yeah.
They're not going to want to actually try. Black widows are very seclusive.
They go into
they hide
in the dark.
Whereas you see the fucking brown recluses. I will see.
Yeah.
So far this winter, I've seen 4 just while I'm sat here talking to you guys, scuttle across my floor. I'm like,
wow.
Hi.
Yeah. No, I know.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's say hi to the side chat right quick, and then we will get on to the subjects, because we have some interesting stuff to go over today, for sure. The only thing that and the only thing I didn't put into the poll was a time traveler, because that's the first thing we're going to go over, because I am one as well. So we'll go over time traveler, and then we'll go over whatever the poll says. So we're going to say hi to the side chat right quick. Hey Tiny, I sent you a link. I'm sure that you are busy or you can't jump on. If you can, that would be wonderful. We love having you on. Sydney, let's see. We have the Mark Short. Welcome. And the Harry Warp says that to YouTube. I didn't say it. Allegedly. No, I'm just kidding. We of course have our Sir Little Wolf, and Little Wolf, if you ever want to join us on the stream, all you got to do is just like ask for a link. Like, I don't ask you because you haven't been on in so long, but if you want to join us, anybody in the side chat who wants to join us, you message us in certain places and we'll let the people on that we know. I mean, obviously I'm not going to say no to you if you're a friend and you want to join us on the stream. So hello, Troy, J. Troy.
Hey.
Let's see who else we have. Of course, the Oxers.
Mm-hmm.
The oxymoron.
And
the Oxycontin.
Yes, there we go. Demon Orb. I think you did something way earlier.
Sorry, what now? Who called me?
Yeah.
Your Oxycontin, and she came running.
Photos of the recluses. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That I have been around, had on me pretty much most of the spiders that are in the Americas, in the areas that I've been in. I've had scorpions on me and all kinds of tarantulas and other things by camping in places.
Yes.
When we were camping in the desert one time in the Californias, when we lifted up our tent, our family tent, it had like 3 sections in it, and 8 of us or 6 of us were sleeping in there. When we like lifted up the tent, there was a family of scorpions under where our sleeping area was. So they were sleeping there because it was warm as fuck.
It was warm for them. Yeah.
Yeah, no, they were loving that shit. So like it was a mom and like 8 babies that were like
wow.
The babies were like that big and the mom was like this big, and it was the white kind of see-through scorpions that you would have in the southeastern deserts and stuff like that. Yeah, exactly. Body heat draws them in. That's exactly why
Arizona gets scorpions in their houses.
Oh no,
down there in the southeast. Southwest.
My aunt. When we went to go visit her in Arizona when I was still a teenager, there were just scorpions crawling like through the crevices of the house, and she's just like, "Oh, there's another scorpion." And you're like, "What the what?" And there were like cockroaches and weird, crazy things that were like huge. When I went and tour to Arizona just a month or 2 ago, I don't even remember. There was this lovely couple that let us stay with them, and I picked up my hoodie off of the ground. And I put it on, and then a freaking cockroach crawled out and like was like on my arm, and it was like that big. It was a freaking huge cockroach, and I just like walked up to show him, and he's like, "Oh yeah, that happens like every day. They crawl up from the AC."
Ever seen Joe's apartment?
Yeah, exactly. Oh my god, that's so creepy. So then my brain remembered my aunt's house that had all the scorpions, and so I just asked him, "How do you want me to take care of this?" And he's like, "Just go throw it out back." He's like, "It doesn't matter. If you kill them, 20 more are going to show up." You know? So I just like went out back and just brushed it off. But for a millisecond,
the palmetto ones are the ones that are really oozy when you kill them.
Oh yeah. And that's another thing. That's another thing. If you kill them, they like splat.
Yes.
Like a lot of juice comes out of them. So it's a lot of cleanup too. So you might as well just be like, take it and like throw it or just get rid of it in different ways.
Right.
Hornworms under glow and black light, black widows,
or deep black under black light.
Yeah. That's right. I've seen videos
scorpions
that glow under black light as well.
Under black light.
Yeah. The ones that I was speaking about that were under our tent, they were the black light reflective ones. If we would have had a black light and we put it on them, they would have been glowing like nobody's business.
Yeah.
But the thing was the layer that we had between us and them was so big that even if they wanted to try to sting us, and there was nothing, they weren't going to be able to do it. But it was still scary, and that's why I have my last band was called Sleeping on Scorpions because of that incident. And I actually have a band.
It's actually a good name for a band.
Yeah. So I actually have a band. Well, it's still kind of in the works.
Honestly, that'd be a good tribute band for the Scorpions.
Yeah, exactly. Just like 70s rock or 80s rock,
exactly.
And then weird lyrics onto it or whatever. And so that is one of my projects I'm in the middle of. I have like the logo for it and all that stuff. So yeah, Sleeping on Scorpions, my band, is because of that incident. Okay. All right. So let's get into the first subject, and we are going to go over how.
Oz is reminding you to watch Copyright Slim.
Oh yeah. That I totally. I totally. Oh yeah, that was. I'm gonna get copyright struck by the Eagles or something,
Who knows?
Yeah. So we're gonna get into the first subject. Let me go to here, and it is going to be the time traveler. Oh yeah. I just have to do that. Right? Oh, it doesn't do that. Never mind. I got it. Copy, and then we'll paste. So the time traveler that we're speaking about supposedly disappeared for a certain amount of time. So we'll find that out in just a second. So this guy supposedly made a real time machine. And we'll see how credible this is. Most of the places that I found this are places like the sun. And we know how credible the sun is.
Yes, of course. Very credible.
Wait, I've heard of this. This guy's insane. Like, the Sun have been chatting with him for so long that they have become they were already the laughing stock of England anyway, but like it's bad now. Like, they've genuinely been treating him like he's a credible source and going, oh yes, his time travel says this.
But has he proven that he time
I have
traveled?
to say, at least he's not wearing a hoodie or sunglasses or anything like that, you know?
Even though that story with the guy that's like wearing modern day clothing has been completely and thoroughly debunked.
Oh,
like,
yes.
Right down to the jumper style
totally.
was common then. It had been invented by that point. The sunglasses was a thing, and the camera existed then. Kodak has actually, someone wrote to Kodak and asked, and he said, yes, this specific model did exist. It wasn't popular. It wasn't very common. But if he is a college student, looking smart as he is, he's probably a college student for a journal, like a college journalist, in which case he's going to be wearing the latest fashion trends. He's one of the only people not wearing a hat, which back then in the 50s, the young children, like the young people, were literally being like, we don't want to look like our parents. People stopped wearing hats from about the 50s onwards.
Yeah.
Like, it's so debunked that it's funny when people mention it.
No, I know. That's exactly why we're going over this, because like the idiocracy of this stuff, especially like if you will look on the photo that is on the screen and you look to the right of the photo, that is supposedly the machine that caused him to time travel.
Really?
I swear to Bob. I swear to Bob. It's a Jacob's ladder.
Oh, dear God.
They'll talk about it in the diagram. If you look to the top left,
yes, I see it.
Yeah, that's
look at the dome. No,
yeah, it's a dome. Yeah, it
looks like the dome with pillars.
Yeah, exactly, Harry Warp. It's a Jacob's
ladder. Yeah,
exactly. That's all it is. So we'll go through this. I'm going to have Mama begin reading this, if you don't mind, Mama.
Okay, I have it embiggened, by the way, so I can see it.
Sweet.
Better.
And I'm gonna go like that.
Okay.
And I'm gonna scroll us down. I'm gonna read the title, but I'm just gonna grab a beer right quick.
No problem.
Which will take me like 20 seconds. But so I'm going to read the title, and it says, "Back in Time: How the Time Machine inventor Madman Mike mysteriously vanished while testing his device and trying to go to the future."
Can I say I object to him saying Madman Mike, because that was Mike Hughes's
unfortunately
name. Just saying.
Yeah.
No.
Okay, so what we're gonna do
I
is
recognize his picture, and I think I've seen it on a dating site.
Oh, I'm sure.
Probably.
I'm sure.
Oh, really?
I can totally believe that.
Yeah.
He vanished, changed his name, and somebody else.
Of course. And like, what is he standing in front of him? He's got this thing that says "what," and that's rubbed out, but it doesn't like.
They're lockers.
Whatever.
They're just lockers.
Yeah. And what's even funnier is this is from 1995. Like,
hang
this
on.
is hilarious. Like,
he built a device on his porch in Missouri in early '95 in a bid to get rich using future winning lottery numbers.
Yeah, no, it can't be them then. If that's a
this is 1995.
That's an old picture. Yeah, no, it can't be them.
Yeah.
Thank fuck.
Okay, so right quick, this is what he drew.
Okay, wow.
This is what he drew. And it says not to scale. Yeah,
obviously.
Duh, dummy. But anyways, output reach connector into billions of volts of output of billions of volts you're going to do through this. You fucking twat.
No.
Output is based on the weight of the transducer.
The melting point of the metal that you use.
Copper plate.
All metal has a melting point, and all electrical voltage produces a certain amount of heat.
Yeah.
It's a difference between quite literally between the battery torch of a small AA, AAA even, mini keyring torchlight, you can put your finger over it and feel nothing. Or if you have one of those massive LED ones, you could put your finger on it and it could hurt your finger. Like my old torch on my phone, if I held it over, my finger over it, it would hurt because it was getting that hot.
Yeah. Okay.
So
Don't say that could create millions of volts.
No, wouldn't it melt before it could reach that point?
Yeah, of course, because look, it says copper plate.
It's not the voltage that generates the heat; it's the amperage.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
It's also like.
But we're talking about billions. He says billions, and so that means that the other part should be high.
How did it get that much electricity?
That doesn't. Yeah, well, that's what I'm getting at.
Bust up the power grid.
If you had the right, if you had the right ones, but look at what he's saying.
Tesla coil.
Yeah, he's not and he doesn't have one in this.
No, but with a Tesla coil also stores up a lot of voltage, but it puts it out in a very low amperage.
Okay. Yeah, exactly. That's why.
To Clutch giving us the temperatures of it all.
Okay.
Fahrenheit and Celsius. Thank you.
So really quick, let's look at what he says is supposed to be here, and then let's actually get into it because this is idiocracy. So horseshoe magnets up here, granite, transducer hammer, quartz granite block for some reason. Why do you need a quartz granite block? And there's wood in between.
He's got
copper
two
plate.
of them, it looks like, too.
Yeah, and then conductor, hardwood plywood is what he's saying here. Inside copper plates that supposedly are that much.
They're a 16th of an inch, and they're positive.
Yeah, and then the outer copper plate. He made what's it called? What's the thing with the wings? The religious thing with the wings and the stuff that the what's it called in Indiana Jones? The box that killed all the Nazis.
Oh,
he essentially made one of those. Literally, that's all.
Box?
No. Somebody in the side chat should know exactly what I'm talking about.
Pandora's box is one that made their faces melt, isn't it?
No, the Pandora's box
Ark
is
of the Covenant. Yes.
Yeah, there we go. The Ark of the Covenant. There we go. That's what I'm speaking. He made the Ark of the Covenant. That's all he made. Yeah, the spooky wookie box. No, but he literally just made the Ark of the Covenant. That's exactly what they did. And the reason they did it this way was to cause a spark to go in between without a real battery or anything because of ancient technology. He literally just copied this out of what the Ark of the Covenant was supposed to be to make religious people be able to get a shock from it, especially if you walk near it. It would shock you. And that's kind of what this is. It's almost like a Tesla coil, just it's a little bit safer, kind of. Tesla coils are fun to mess with, for sure. And then what he says is free energy and no moving parts. Copyright Mike. He doesn't put his real fucking name. He doesn't cite it. It doesn't do anything other than put copyright Mike. It says
that's not how it works.
Photos.
You also have to put in your copyright reference number.
Yeah, exactly.
Like people can't just say I made it. It's copyrighted.
So then this is what he said this is. So that's the photo of what he says is. And really, it's just a Jacob's Ladder spark generator. That's all he freaking made.
It looks like it's just a battery. All I do is make a battery of some sort and
that
can
connect the wires. Yeah.
Science lab, that picture.
Yeah, no, totally.
That's a mini Jacob's Ladder that you can build yourself. I might be looking into that.
So all it does is
arc up. It just goes up. And
energy like this.
Yeah.
It just does this up and down it.
It doesn't produce. It doesn't. Yeah.
In all of the 1950s science movies, there's one of these in the background of all of them.
Yep.
You always see that wire. It's a
Jacob's Ladder and the Tesla thing.
Yeah, the Tesla coil.
Where it jumps between the two balls.
Yeah, Tesla coils are way more dangerous and actually will screw you up if you don't know what you're doing with them. Enigma and God, I can't It doesn't matter. The other his sidekick, they had one built, and I got to play around with it a handful of times. Like when we did shows or we did conventions, like they'd set it up and they're like, "Here, you want to play around with it?" And as long as you're standing on that rubber mat, you're
grounded. As long as you're grounded.
Yeah, you could take weird metal objects. You could take tube light bulbs. You could take all kinds of things and get close enough to it, or put your hand close enough to it and hold the bulb away, and just like you're lighting up light bulbs and you're making things turn on and off. It is so weird to like have that power, but you really
I've actually seen somebody that made a backpack, like portable Tesla coil, like a Tesla coil gun.
Yeah,
that was pretty funny.
That's hilarious. Okay, so Mama, will you please read this while I go ahead and I'll be right back.
Okay. So, aged 21 as a student in electrical engineering, he started experimenting with a contraption called the Jacob's Ladder. The simple device sees an electric spark jumping back and forth between two parallel wires and appearing to climb up the ladder. As he was messing around with the device, Mike claimed he spotted something unusual. He said he spotted a circular vortex, as he decided to test the effect by throwing in a metal screw to see what would happen. Mike claimed it vanished into thin air before appearing a few feet away a second later. He believed the metal screw had been transported through time and reappeared once time had caught up. But he faced a major problem in his experiments. He needed a huge amount of power to make it work. And as he was scaling up his work on the so-called time machine, the contraption caught fire.
Maybe because he put too much stuff through things that couldn't take the heat. Just like
that's literally something we're taught when we're like 9-10 years old, where we get a battery and hook it up to steel wool and watch it fucking melt.
Right.
Yeah, totally. Cool. That's the thing. Certain things can only do certain things. I work with. Go ahead, Brainless.
For the people that are interested in that handheld Tesla coil, I put a link to the video in the side chat.
Okay.
That is pretty funny because they also do it in slow motion. So. But,
nice.
Go ahead.
So I've been working with smelting metals since I was young. The family's been casting pewter. They started in the 70s, the late 60s or the 70s. And so at 12 years old or 10 years old, I was around all that shit. And like I helped fix sculptures when they come in broken, with soldering most of the time. But like I knew the process. And so making pewter, it melts at a certain degrees. Platinum melts at a certain degrees. All of these different metals melt at certain degrees. So you have to use things in certain ways so that things will work. So of course this dumbass made this little itty bitty little contraption and it didn't freaking work. So Mama, will you go ahead and read more of the rest of this, and we'll find out when he supposedly disappeared and how he came back.
He figured if he was going to rebuild the machine, he should use larger transformers to generate higher voltages. What he needed cost $20,000 each, so he decided to break into a local power station and steal 6 old transformers to continue his work.
Bullshit.
What a dumbass.
Because power stations regularly not only are able to break into, and I know it's like 1995, okay, cool, but they also have 6 old transformers just lying around. Right. No one noticed you stealing all 6 of.
Yeah.
And not just that, you know why they're not being used anymore?
Because they're damaged. Because they don't work.
They could be faulty.
To blow up.
They'll keep that shit running. They'll keep that shit running till it breaks down.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Brainless, think of the health and safety standards of back in 1995. In what state in America? Was it Hillbilly America?
Yeah, it's totally backwards
Hillbilly America. Yeah. Sorry if you're from there, but like, come on, yo, you know that the governments back then would they were, yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember where
the safety standards were not like they are now, for sure.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so all right.
Like the
and how did he know that they were
didn't have the money?
Yeah.
Well, I think
they
he just
weren't
broke
spending the money on getting like the best of the best.
Mm-hmm.
They were running shit to the ground.
All right.
Cheese and rice. Okay, so we're at here.
Okay, I'm on. Yeah. Once he connected the transformers to his Jacob's ladder, he sparked a mass blackout on the streets in his neighborhood, shutting down the electrical grid for several hours.
Of course, dummy. It's not made for it to be. It's not made. The infrastructure is not made for you to do things like that. So of course you're gonna fucking blow it. I mean, crap. When I was working at the porn store in Greeley, the electrical infrastructure was so bad that if a large enough semi went over the street next to us, it would turn off our freaking internet for a couple minutes and stuff. And we had 8 booths, so it would make the booths fucking it would actually turn off shit. And so people would be in the back, and as soon as you'd hear the fucking semi go over the street, because you could hear the large, heavy ones, because it happened all the time. And as soon as that happened, everybody in the fucking porn booths would be like, "Oh, come on!" And like, just
I can imagine.
Yeah, I'm just like, just wait a minute, and then they're like, "Okay, all right."
God. Okay, but if it happens,
I can feel going. I was almost there. God damn it!
Yeah.
If it happens at that particular point, it is.
Yeah, it's not fun.
Anticlimactic.
Yeah, exactly.
You know how many times
that's kind of disgusting that there are wank booths.
Yeah.
Well, I had 2 glory holes, so I had 4.
I think what's more disgusting is having to clean them up.
Yeah, and I had to clean them. And some people don't know how to like clean before you do anal, and so you walk in there and they're just like,
gross.
Yeah, you're just like, yeah, great, bro. You don't fucking understand like what you're supposed to do before you let some dude put it in your butt. God damn it. Anyway,
it was in the heat of the moment, Slim. Like, oh yes, put it in my ass.
He was on Grindr. And the dude was like, "Yeah, let's hook up." And he's like, "Well, let's go to the." Yep, I know.
Okay.
Well, it doesn't always have to go into the back of a guy. It can also go in the back of a woman.
That's not who went back there. There was rarely ever women that went back there. And usually if it was a woman that went back there, it was already like a setup kind of thing. And she was a prostitute.
Right.
But if I couldn't tell she was a prostitute, I couldn't tell her no. But pretty much every single time a female came in there with a dude or multiple dudes, it was definitely like, yeah. What was funny is the mayor from the next town over, I'm not going to say which town, used to come over and he used to have sex with dudes all the time. And it's one of these places that they're anti-gay. Yeah, of course he was. No, of course he was. They're anti-gay. He lives in a farm town. It's a farm town. That's why he went to the county next to it too. Okay, keep reading. Mom.
Yeah, we got to keep going. We're going to be here with this forever. Not getting anything else.
I'm just going to look up where he was working.
Cops soon turned up at his house with a warrant to search his property and arrested him for pinching the Transformers.
Yep.
According to reports, Mike told the judge during his trial he was trying to find out winning lottery numbers in order to fund a research lab.
Mm-hmm.
Mike was released from prison.
Was true. He actually did steal them.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, he actually
got the Transformers. No, he actually got the Transformers. He got
away with it.
And yeah, he got them to his house.
Almost till he shut the power down.
And then he hooked them up, which again, his dumbass hooked all of them up together and tried to turn them on. And that was what caused the power grid to fry because you only have power stations in certain places. You can't put them all together, or you know what I'm saying? You can't.
Yeah.
Or you can't
it might have been like if he would have started them up one by one, it might have not been that big of a problem.
Sure. But this dumbass doesn't know what he's doing. You probably hooked them up wrong. It probably wasn't kosher. You know, he didn't probably know how to exactly do this because he's an amateur electrician, is what it says. He doesn't have his certifications. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So he doesn't.
Yeah, he was still going to school.
when we were
were you taught how to set up a transformer grid, let alone jerry rig one?
No.
Yeah, because that's something that you have to do like more advanced levels of
totally
learning.
So
and if it's from a power station, it's probably rated for higher voltages. So if you would put it just on your outlets or just from your breaker box, that is quite a lower voltage. So I would guess it would see it as a short circuit. But it depends on what kind of transformer.
They deliberately switch it off because they think that, holy shit, that's enough electricity. Someone's going to explode.
Yeah.
Not get electrocuted, explode.
So when we were
from the inside out.
When this was back in the day, the late 90s, and we were helping set up grow houses. At the beginning, the first time you turn on everything, the fans, the lights, all that crap, it fucking blew. We usually blow like blew the circuit. So for like 2 blocks, it would blow out the power for, and you just wait for the pigs. No. You wait for the power company to come out to fix it, and then you may be able to still run it. And then eventually we figured out, we have to actually get generators, and you have to do splitting of power to not have it bleeding off of it. And the other thing is the power companies were in cahoots with the government, and they would look at power spikes and stuff. We had cops come up to our house when my stepdad put in the jacuzzi in the back of our house because the power company noticed a spike, and they came up and they were like, so what's this power spike? And they were like, jacuzzi. And they go, okay, never mind. So, there's things like that. They can tell. And the infrastructure is not made for like throwing a gazillion extra things on to a certain system. You know what I'm saying? Especially in the Americas, we don't upgrade our shit very often. Although Fort Collins does really, really well because we're a college town and the college kids need all the fucking fast internet and shit. But anywhere around us has technology that's so outdated, it's not even funny. You go to any town around us and it's just silly.
Yeah. Maybe we need to get back to this later because I'm looking at side chat to what Harry is saying.
Was is los?
Because
he was 21 in 1995.
From his arrest.
Gentry County. What did you do? He was 21. I was 14 or 15 in 1995 or something.
Yeah, 21 years old in 1995.
Yeah, I was 15 in 1995. I was 30. Think. Okay, so I don't even. I'm sure there's people in the side chat that weren't even born.
My son was 3. My daughter was not yet a thought.
Okay, so Mike was released from prison 7 months later and shot to fame on a local radio, telling stories about disappearing screw that he during his plans to build a time machine. So what he did.
So this is the coast to coast.
Yeah,
Art Bell did Coast to Coast, which he did, which is very conspiracy oriented.
Of course, it is.
Show, conspiracy, aliens, all that stuff.
Von Helton.
Yeah, totally. So what he said is he took I don't know if it says it later. I don't see that right here in this article. He supposedly took a screw when he turned it on, he threw the screw at it and it disappeared, and then it fell back a couple feet to one side. It somehow transported.
And it came back a few feet away or something.
Yeah, something like that is what he claimed.
Wow.
Do we have any evidence of this?
Power of the electric shock hitting a metal object, going through
and throwing
metal thing could maybe cause a redirection of movement.
Yeah, no, totally. And it totally could have flung
so
it somewhere,
fast, obviously,
or it could have shot it somewhere. Yeah, exactly. And of course he's going to claim this bull.
Yeah, it'll probably have generated quite a big flash as well, which might
totally
have disorientated him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and
totally.
it might have been a different screw that was on the ground if it was high enough voltage, and a cheap ass screw. The screw.
And we also don't know if he was high at the time because it did say he saw a vortex.
Yeah, well, the thing
he could have been on stuff.
We do know that unprotected electrical currents can cause
distortion of
psychedelic reactions.
Right. Okay.
Like
distortion
the
of time
messes with your perception, stuff
Yep.
like that.
Totally.
Weird one is, it's why they say that a lot of people talk about ghost sightings in offices.
EMF.
Because
EMF
the
is
hum
really high.
of the electric fan and the hum of the fan and the fluorescent lights cause some
this
sort of
weird
thing
combination
that causes anxiety.
Yeah.
Mass
High
anxiety.
EMF where you're at. Yeah.
Yeah, and one of the other things that we've found out a little bit more is carbon monoxide poisoning has led to a handful of paranormal experiences as well.
Oh, well, okay.
So gases, putting yourself through things that are going to cause you to change your reality is going to make you think things are happening. So remember, folks, the human brain is not made for us to have a cohesive consciousness. We're only made to be here to survive. And so we just do whatever, the brain does whatever, and the eyes and the ears and whatever senses react together only to keep you going. That's why mental disorders are so interesting to me, at least. People can go through hoops and all these weird things to make it so they're like, no, killing all 50 people was okay. You're like, wait, what? No, it's not. But their brain is able to gymnastically get through it to make it so it's like, they did something. They did something wrong to me, and they that needed to happen because of blah blah yakety. And you're just like, wait, no. You could have like learned to like be their friend and actually like. The incel stuff when we get into it's like that. They say things and you're like, wait, no, bro. You are the problem, not the rest of the things around you. So anyways.
But also with the electrical thing, like there was a family here that thought their house was haunted because like every morning when they woke up, all the shoes in the house, were gathered neatly in front of the back door.
Okay.
What turned out to be, when they went to bed, Daddy was sleeping under high voltage power lines.
Okay.
And he got out of bed without knowing
Sleepwalking.
it. And he did that.
Yeah. Totally.
And as soon as they moved away from there,
it stopped.
It stopped. He didn't sleepwalk anymore. So that does tell you like power lines over your house. If you're looking for a house, if power lines are running over it, don't fucking buy it.
Okay,
or make sure you get a good fucking discount because it causes bad health effects.
Yeah. Okay, before we get
Even
further
that,
into this,
because it's not worth your health.
Totally,
yeah, especially not if you live in America.
But you could buy the property and turn it into a haunted house and only be there during a couple hours a day, or just have people that will like pay money to just walk through the thing and ghost hunt. I mean, that's really what Queen and I at one point want to do, is try to find a haunted location and buy it for hella cheap, or I don't care, like a little bit of money, especially if we get a couple investors in with us, and then just turn it into a haunted house or a place that people just go to. Like I've always wanted to have a vaudevillian storefront, a place where people come in, we talk about haunted stuff, we talk about weird things, we talk about the history of Sideshow, blah, blah, blah. I have a curio cabinets of stuff. And then hopefully the establishment, you can go do things like ghost hunt or whatever in them just for the heck of it, like, and have fun with it and just do what they did in the 1800s with establishment, make it into an oddities house pretty much.
Well,
and if people can't live there,
for doing that, I am happy to wear 19th century garb. I will do it. I will wear the proper clothes. Just tell me what what 18th century decade I've got to be in, and I'll wear it.
Yeah, it would be so much fun to do that.
Okay, so what? Just ask you now, then you do it.
Yeah, and hopefully in the future it will
I'm
happen.
offering to help work for him.
Yeah.
That means
totally,
I get pretty dresses. I'll go to America.
Yes. Definitely, that would be a lot of fun. So what we're gonna do is blah blah blah, yakety schmackety. Doesn't matter. The rest of this is kind of stupid. What I want to talk about is the Vanishing Act. So,
Which is right there.
Mama, would you like to read this for us, or would you like me?
No, I can read it.
Awesome. We actually love hearing your voice.
So
that's why
after he was on the show, his phone number he let out his phone number, had 3 days of nonstop calls.
Yeah.
So anyway, he suddenly vanished, or something. He suddenly disappeared in 1997 and was never heard from again, leaving him at the center of one of the biggest time travel mysteries. Shortly after he vanished, a listener on the radio show called in to talk about a bizarre story he had found. In the mid-1930s, cops found a dead man on a beach in California, the listener said. The man was crushed to death in a strange metal tube, and a mysterious device was found near his body, which looked very much like a mobile phone. But last year, Mike appeared to resurface online and rubbished wild claims he had traveled to 1930s and died.
Then why is he still here?
And according to reports, his local radio station interviewed him for the third time in 2015 under the name Real Madman Markham. Mike appeared to post on a blog about paranormal activities in February. The user has been a member of the site since 2015. He wrote, "Rumors are ablazing that I'm dead, not well, and had time traveled to 1930 something where I died on a beach in a tube. Whoever posted the pictures of a redhead, that is also not me." Excuse me. "It was some school kid with my name that someone long ago attributed to me.
Okay.
Whatever was found in the 1930s was not me, and I've read that was debunked, but can't find the article." When someone asked whether he had any new time machine plans in motion, he replied, "Yes, but it is stalled at the moment until I can get some investors." Inverters, it says. Inverters, I'm sorry.
Okay, yeah. That's good.
Investors are. "I have found 24-volt panels in my bus for a project. They got a little ratty from sitting outside for a bit." His follower had asked the blog user to prove his real madman. He's the real Mike Madman, but so far he's offered no evidence of his true identity.
Okay, so that's pretty much the gist of it. So nothing happened.
So it's still a mystery. Nothing was ever proven, basically, I don't think.
What he did is he decided to disappear for a couple years after claiming he was doing this because he couldn't figure it out. And then he came back onto social medias and people asked him about stuff. That's all that happened. There was nothing that happened.
Nothing major.
Yeah, no, there's no proof at all that he disappeared and came back. He just wasn't online for a couple years. That's all that happened.
You would think if that happened, he would have gotten the lottery numbers and been a rich man.
There would have been things and stuff and things. Yeah, I know.
The Biff Tanner thing from Back to the Future too.
What is it?
All that stuff.
Time machine.
Yeah.
Can't do it because his need to win the lottery is what made him go back in time to get the lottery numbers. So he can never win the lottery before he makes a machine.
Right.
Because he has to win the lottery. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Paradox.
One works with exactly. One can't work without the other.
Okay. So we're going to go ahead and end the poll now, and it's going to be the No Pants Tube Ride is going to be the top. Hard Drug Store is going to be second. Transphobic Hippies, and then Gay Deprogramming. And I think Gay Deprogramming is going to be way different than y'all are thinking about, but that's okay. Oh, we have the Schizma Crasher here, and hello, Carl, and anybody else who's new.
Hey, Skits. Hope you're dry, Skits.
Need to, and Super, and okay. So we're blowing on to, and I'm pretty sure that the Vilas knows all about this. I believe we've talked about it before, Vila.
No, because I mentioned it earlier and she didn't know. Because I actually heard it on the radio around here as well.
You don't
because it
you
is
don't
a thing
know
that,
about the no pants tube ride?
No.
I haven't heard that about that either.
Oh, cheese and rice.
No.
I even know about this.
Yeah, I've heard about it before, but like the other day it was on the news here.
And it's been on hiatus for 2 years. So No Trousers Tube Ride returns to London for the first time since 2020 because of the stuffs and things with the pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
We'll watch the video in just a second. The video is really, really fun. But what I want to do first is we'll talk about it. So the No Trousers Tube Ride will return to London this weekend for the first time since the pandemic. The annual event, which celebrated a 10-year anniversary in 2009. There we go. And it had obviously been canceled for 2 years because of COVID. But hundreds of Londoners are expected to return to the underground in just their underwear to take part in the absurd stunt this year. I've heard about this for a handful of years. I think around 2005 or 6-ish or something, or I heard about this. So this year it will also be the inaugural trouserless tube ride on the Elizabeth line, according to the event organizers, the Stiff Upper Lip Society. Oh, that's so amazing, that name. All right, so here we blow. What is the No Trouser Tube Ride? The No Trouser Tube Ride is an annual event that sees Londoners remove their trousers and ride the tube in their pants. And to the Americans out there that don't understand the difference between trousers and pants, and did I put pants in there? Yeah, no, pants means underwear.
Yes.
And trousers means pants or shorts or your outerwear,
Trousers
right? The
mean
outerwear.
Trousers. Like trousers are the smart thing, the smart ones, right?
Yes.
When we think trousers, we think like suit and trousers. Then we have like trousers, like we would have cargo shorts, jeans. Trousers are not just generalized bottoms, really.
Okay.
So like pants.
Oh.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Pants are your underwear here.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what I wanted to really quick just go over and reiterate that to anybody who was in the side chat that didn't know that. I believe we've gone over this.
We use
so many
over
fucking
here too.
times.
So
Yeah, that's another thing. So, anyways, the idea is to act completely normal by reading a paper or listening to music while being trouserless. Bow wow.
Free the legs, baby.
When is the No Trouser Tube Ride? The No Trouser Tube Ride, it takes place at 3 p.m. on Sunday, January 8th. So we are 2 days late. I believe it's the 10th, right? Okay.
Yes.
So unfortunately, 2 days ago, you could have done this. I didn't have this information until then because they didn't tell us that they were doing this completely. The Americans, they didn't tell us until after it happened. I was not given information about it until after this all happened. So really quick, let's just go through the 12 photos and we will watch a video in just a second after we go over a little bit more of the background of this. So there's our first photo. I didn't know we were going to go directly to just women's crotches, but okay. Let's see what is next. That is not what the okay. So there we go. And that was an ad, yeah. So this lovely lady was doing some fun stuff there.
Definitely a lovely lady.
That's a better photo of what we should have seen for the first photo. Right? You didn't need to like show us like that close up of them. Although I didn't mind.
Hey, I didn't mind.
No, of course, especially this gentleman over here. So yeah, bow chicka bow wow. Look at that. Yeah. All right. Yeah. And then Another ad, of
Another
course.
ad.
Of course,
And
they
then
have
there
ads
we
in
got
between every other
cute
picture.
little couple.
Almost.
He is not very into this.
He's
I
not.
can
He's
tell.
just kind of
No, she was the one who was like, "Oh my god, honey, you know what we should do? We should like go get
Let's
drunk
do
and we should
this.
like go
Come
out
on.
and be in our underwear." And he's like, "I am
looking
not
at
in-"
other ladies, and she's
Yeah,
pissed.
probably.
Okay, that could be more.
He's looking off and smirking.
Yeah, I got you.
It was her idea.
Can I harken back to something we were talking about at the beginning of the stream about the spiders, and we was talking about that one the one was in her pants and she had a bowl started to move. My brain immediately went to her fictitious penis.
Which is
so here's another lovely photo. I believe all of these photos were taken with consent. I believe this is like an actual press agency or press, they actually, this was not just like random. So everybody had consent in all of these photos. I would have loved to have been here to do this with all of y'all. I know I'm a man with man boobs, but one of the things that we did for Denver, and now it's legal in Denver, was we did topless. It was like the slut walk is what they called it. And we had like hundreds of women that walked topless downtown Denver, and we walked like 2 miles around. And there was, of course, some of my exes that, of course, I was dating at the time, and some people that I ended up dating that are now my ex were there. And we literally, like, there was like a handful of us. The women could have taken care of themselves. All right. I'm not down putting the females that were there, but there was like 20 of us big dudes that were around, because there were people that were trying to fuck with them constantly. Like, you can't get blah, 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 and we would just walk up and be like, "Hey bro, if you don't get out of my girlfriend's face, you're not going to have a good time." And the cops are right there and they're on my side because we're doing this legally. So we actually made it legal so you can walk around topless downtown Denver, male or female, and not get arrested or not get fined. So if you're drunk and you're a female and you go downtown and you accidentally drunkenly take off your shirt, you're not going to get fined for that. Drunk in public, probably, but not for being topless downtown. So look at all this fun that they're having. Look at that. That's amazing. I would have loved, once again, to have been there to do this with all of
I love the advert in the background as well.
Yeah,
exactly. That was like perfect. So there we go. We got all these people going on. This guy's still like looking at other people. He's not looking at his girlfriend.
It's like, yo, what's up?
Hey, but then again, but like, why isn't he looking at his girlfriend? Because his girlfriend ain't bad looking.
No, I'd be looking at her constantly, but whatever.
Can you see the old man at the side? Just
him right here.
Look where his eyes are going.
Yeah, totally. And he's got his phone on recording her.
His eyes are literally going towards like the guy in that.
But do you notice that he doesn't have his pants on?
Well, yeah, these trains are like the tubes aren't specifically isolated for this. You can't rent out.
Yeah, no, I totally
leave that one up. Leave that one up.
No, I totally.
So
get
you would have all people for the event mixed in with normal commuters and people using the train.
Right, exactly.
That's so awesome. Look at that. That's so amazing. There's even more that we can bring up. We'll do that in just a millisecond. But what I want to do, just go over this a little bit more in detail. We don't really need to cover more than, I guess more than 60 cities around the world now take part in this, including Berlin, Lisbon, Tokyo, and Toronto. I did not know this.
Yeah, if you go up a little bit, it says how it started.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to go over, right? This is where we're talking about, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you want to read it, Vila?
Yeah, sure thing.
Go for it.
The No Trousers tube ride began in 2009 when inspired by the No Pants subway ride, which was created by Improv Everywhere in New York in 2002. The first ever event in New York City involved 7 trouserless men boarding the subway, one at each stop for 7 consecutive stops, pretending to not notice each other. In 2006, the train was stopped and 8 people were handcuffed and taken into custody for not wearing trousers. The charges were later dismissed. Wow. By 2007, hundreds of people took part before the event went international in 2008, with 9 cities participating. Since 2010, thousands of New Yorkers have taken part in the annual prank.
Oh, I still want to do
More
that when I
than
moved to New York.
60 cities around the world take part, including Berlin, Lisbon, Tokyo, and Toronto.
Oh, when I moved to New York, I know Buffalo is so far away from New York, but Queen and I are totally going to be doing this next year, and we're going to stream it. So hopefully will see us be doing this next year, because I'm down to do all of this stuff, because all of these things are like body positivity. You know what I'm saying? Like it's all about like being okay with, and nudity does not mean sexuality. That is one thing that is a major problem with the Americas. All around the other worlds and a lot of other places, nudity is way more accepted as long as sexuality is not pushed into it. Like when I went to Germany and Netherlands when I was 14, there were billboards, there were posters of topless women. There was an advertisement in Germany that we saw on TV that was of a little boy with his mouth open, and a white stream of liquid was going into his mouth, and they zoomed up and it went to a woman's breast and she was squeezing it.
Okay.
And it said "got milk" in German.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, but over,
was that right? I don't fucking know.
Not America. I mean, just the rest of the world. The body's seen more as like an art form.
Yeah, no, totally, exactly.
Yeah. But we've sexualized it over here. Women have breasts for one reason only: to feed babies. That's their sole purpose.
And to make men horny.
Funny thing.
Well,
back in medieval times, back in history, right, when there was some of the strictest puritanical culture and laws, down to dictating what fabric you could wear, by what status, what colors were the color of a harlot, and if you had too much lace, or if you wore too much makeup or any makeup at all, so strict that it was still okay to whip your tit out and feed your baby.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Am I echoing to the audience? Let me know if I am. Hey, Ollie, man.
I know Ollie's getting echoing. I don't know if anybody else is.
Yeah,
not.
that's why
it's not so much echoing, like an actual echo.
And I actually got on the stream and I didn't hear any, but
so it's more like it sounds like you're talking like this. You're a bit muffled at times.
You're a bit hollow.
Okay.
A bit hollow.
Which could be your mic. It could just be your mic's messing up.
So like, it's not like it's a proper echoey, but it's like a bit muffled.
Is that any better?
I don't know how. Let's see.
Is that better?
Little bit.
It sounds like you're in an echoey room. That kind of not a stream echo, but a echoey room.
I get that, and I am in a large ass room. So, but and I've been messing with some of my audio, so it may.
Yeah, you can hear like echoes bouncing off walls, but not cave echo. Yeah.
Okay. Well, give me just a second, and let me try one thing.
That could be what it is. It's just a lot of space to fill.
Yeah. No, you're right, Global Mum. It's weird how it's the human body has been inherently sexualized.
Yeah.
Like, and female breasts have been sexualized. And the thing is, okay, yes, there was always a bit of a thing about it, but throughout the centuries, different sexual, like the sexual thing has been focused on very differently. So, different times in history, women have always had a part of their breast or cleavage on show. But what wasn't on show was the shoulder or the arms or the legs. So that's what became very sexualized, because okay, you could see the cleavage, but it now people are switching more from breast to butt.
Yes.
It's gone like that throughout history. And there's always been personal preference, obviously, but you get what I mean.
Yes.
Is that any better? Can you hear me now?
Oh, that's much better.
Okay, so yes.
It could have been the mic you were using.
No, I just switched the input on StreamYard.
We haven't done this. Could have been what it was.
Yeah, we haven't done this in like 3 weeks. That was the problem. I just didn't know. I didn't put it in the right input.
That makes sense. Yes.
There we blow.
Yeah, see, Harry Watt in
this
microphone, hair was sexualized.
Hair was sexualized, yeah.
It's changed a lot, but we seem to now, for quite a while, been very militantly stuck with certain things being very sexualized. And
it's like in the late 1800s, the woman's ankle was sexualized.
Yeah, totally.
She showed her ankle. Oh my God.
Ankle.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but like, to be honest, like, depending on the woman, like, every part of a woman's body can be just fucking hot. Just saying, like, I've seen women, I've walked behind women and like I saw their neck and I was like, damn, that looks hot. Yeah, I don't know.
Oh my God, stop.
But
yeah,
I don't know. I still find it very weird. Like, since the 50s. Well, since the 1920s, things change very quickly, like culturally. And in the past 20 years, even, we've had more change happen so rapidly than for the last, 100 years.
Yeah.
And so many people, we're stuck in this spot where there are generations that were strictly raised with it, like homosexuality, like being like transgender. There are people alive today that were raised with it being wrong, immoral, evil, all this shit, right? And back then it was okay to beat these people up and even kill them. No one gave a shit. Now, there are people as well that are so positive and loving and welcoming of that and are fighting to actually get them the protection that they fucking deserve, I might add. And it's this big clash because the people, there was no warming the pot up for them so they don't realise they're being boiled alive. The frog's trying to jump out the pan.
Yes.
Whereas before these things, there's been a bit of a warming point. There's been warning of it happening. It's taken a bit more time to do. Whereas this has been a very quick.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Exactly.
So the next subject is there's a gentleman who plans on opening a store that sells heroin, meth, and crack.
Wow.
I know there's a way to get rid of this somehow.
Is there no X or anything on there?
Not? That's what I was trying to find.
Use your tab bar to try and find it.
That's what it does. That's what it does. I forgot that Vice does it this way. Anyways, so a Vancouver man is planning on opening what would be a Canada's first store that sells heroin, cocaine, meth, MDMA, and other drugs as a way to reduce the rising number of deaths stemming from the overdose crisis, which we're talking about fentanyl.
Right.
The fentanyl deaths. So this gentleman wants to open a brick and mortar shop by the end of the January when British Columbia's new drug decriminalization policy kicks in. The pilot project, which will last 3 years, will mean it's no longer illegal to possess up to 2.5 grams of opioids, crack, and powdered cocaine, meth, and MDMA. So under 2.5 grams of this.
Okay. It does say it's a pilot program, by the way, project up there.
Yeah, and then once again, decriminalization does not mean legal.
Mm-hmm.
It just means they will tolerate drugs being around up to a certain point and not causing you to go to prison for a gazillion years. So selling those drugs will remain illegal. Like I said, it's decriminalization, not legalization.
Okay.
Because it's still illegal. But Martin, the former cocaine user, believes providing drugs that have been tested for contaminations will save the lives of drug users. He lost his brother a couple months ago when he went down to score something, and he came back home.
Wow.
It was Vancouver's downtown east side, the epicenter of overdoses in Canada. Every day I'm not open, more people die. I can't open fast enough. This gentleman said that is trying to open this establishment. I'm sure we're going to actually get further into this, but I want to reiterate before we do.
Approval.
And I do hope that he gets protection.
Hold on.
Because if he's selling it and people can just go there, there is gonna be drug dealers that are gonna.
Oh yeah, there are. They're not gonna be happy with him. Mm-hmm.
So we're going over that in just a second. You're totally right there, Brainless. Working in X being a drug seller in like working with mafias and stuff. Yeah, totally. This is something that's kind of like sketchy to do to the street sellers. We'll talk about exactly what he's going to do to like make sure that he hopefully doesn't get fucked with, but we'll see. So he used to run a weed dispensary in Whitewood, Saskatchewan. He wants to call the new shop the drug store, just like all the drug stores in the Americas. I don't know what they're called. Yeah, I don't know what they're called in other places, but literally, like we have the drug stores.
We go down to the drugstore, picking me up some Tylenol.
Pharmacy.
Yeah, they're the pharmacies.
Yeah,
we call it pharmacy as well.
Well, no. Do you have shops that are called the drugstore?
No.
We do in the Americas. Like I literally downtown Fort Collins, we have one called the drugstore or something close to that. So it's hilarious that he's doing that because we see that all over here.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, so the way that he's going to make sure that he doesn't get killed is he's going to sell the drugs at the same price or slightly higher than the street price because he doesn't want to undercut the local dealers, which could potentially be dangerous. And blah blah blah, yakety schmackety. We already talked about the decriminalization of 2.5 grams. The next thing I want to talk about is
probably cut a good deal with some of the street dealers as well, and say like you can rent out a spot, you can rent out a shelf from the shop.
Well, no. What he does is he buys it from certain places, and that's kind of where he's working with the street people.
Yeah,
he has to buy it from somewhere, so he's
got to
getting
be more
it from.
Expensive. He's got to be more expensive
it's
because he's got to bring them more to
better
store.
quality and it's known to be clean.
And
what he's doing. We'll get to that in just a second. How he's checking it, but what he does is he's buying large quantities, which keeps his costs down. When you're a street dealer, you can only buy ounces at a time, not pounds. So that's what he's doing. So he can charge what he kind of wants. But again, he's not trying to undercut the dealers. He's trying to give a product to people so they don't overdose and die.
Mm-hmm.
And so let's go to the next thing, and then we'll get into how he is actually...
He's trying to give him a safe product rather than a risky one.
Yeah, and then we're going to go into a thing, how he figures out whether it's good or bad drugs, because it's something that I never heard about before. And like I've been out of the fucking drug selling game for like 20 years now or something.
Well, there are drug test kits available on Amazon now.
Yeah, but listen to how they're going to do it. Hold on. What did Ox say? I'm not there on that page.
He says like the natural drugs, They are. That is what is made for us, kind of.
Man-made drugs are bad news. Weed, shrooms, peyote, sativa are all natural. They are meant for us to be used. The
when you
man-made
start
ones are
synthesizing
crap.
things,
the
body is not going to have fun with it.
With the chemical man-made drugs, we can actually quantify a dosage, a strength. We can quantify what the chemical content per gram is. However, with any of the natural drugs, it quite literally varies from plant to plant, from batch to batch, from season to season.
Yeah.
Like you could literally have one mushroom be so strong it is worth 10 of the other ones. It's luck of the draw. If we find a way to actually rectify with that and make sure that we know everyone is getting a safe and consistent dosage, then
exactly.
You're right,
that's why unfortunately but fortunately we need to make an idea is to make things legal so that we can figure out how they are going to be put into it. And the reason why there's mafias,
there's too many people making money off of the war on drugs.
Yeah, exactly.
Not just on the drugs, but also on the war on drugs. So both sides don't want it to stop.
Well,
just
on
like
all
we do
parts
with
of it, the medical treatment, the addiction, the medical treatment from said addiction, and the death. There are people that make money every time one of those people overdoses.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I granted the funeral parlors aren't trying to do that, and normally they're paupers' graves. But still, when there's so much money involved, who's going to care?
Exactly, Tamoli. But kind of like the idea with prohibition, that didn't really work, and a bunch of people died because people were making a bunch of fucked up shit. Now there's regulations on it, how that gets spread, and if that is a completely great idea, I don't 100% know. But there's the only way to figure it out is to try some of these things, which is legal things in certain ways.
I believe Spain did that, didn't they? They legalized or at least decriminalized all drugs.
I don't know
they
if it was
apparently had a massive spike in usage for a while because so many people that weren't doing stuff because it's illegal did it.
Right.
And then it
weaned. Yeah, it petered out. And also people were not overdosing and not dying because they began doing something that was normally illegal. And doing drugs isn't completely bad. You just have to figure out how to manage it and not let it take over your life. And that's the Portugal. Yeah, that's what I thought it was. So anyways,
Portugal.
So
Portugal.
You gringo.
Portugal.
Portugal.
No, I'm just kidding.
Portugal.
Anyways, so
such a gringo
says,
slim. I love it.
Exactly.
So wait till tomorrow.
Just wait till tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be hilarious when we do hit. Anyways, we'll talk about that later. I've got myself some bulletproof vests. I need to ask
Dick McHick something before we go to bed.
Okay.
Slim can relay that message later.
Okay, we'll talk about it later.
As usual.
But anyways, so this gentleman got a bulletproof vest, bulletproof glass, and security on site. He's also said that his employees may be required to wear masks in order to offer them some anonymity, because he doesn't want just them just selling drugs illegally with their faces being shown, so that maybe drug dealers coming in can see who they are or whatever.
Hide their identities.
Yeah. So he says that he's already got sources for various drugs, although it took him a year to find a heroin supplier since the opioid have been almost completely replaced by fentanyl. Yeah, there's not really heroin anymore. It's just fentanyl. He said he's on the fence about whether or not to sell fentanyl. I believe he should not, because the fentanyl is not something that anybody needs unless you are dying of cancer and you're on the last stages where opioids wouldn't work for you anymore. That's the only reason you need fentanyl, is just to, like, when you're in your last days of dying and you just want to be comfortably numb before that passes.
Yeah, I know doctors use fentanyl when they're doing surgeries and stuff too, but
yeah, so
it's
in those cases,
it's controlled there. Yeah,
it's not, you don't, people should not be doing it on the street at all. I do not agree with fentanyl. I agree with most of the other street drugs. I'm kind of, but the problem with fentanyl is you don't know the potency, you can't tell it. There's so many different ways, and like it's being put into every drug, even marijuana, and people are doing it and getting
fentanyl,
like, you know,
is
so
terrifying. Do you know what happens when a fentanyl overdose gets called into the ER? They have to get put on a form of lockdown because there may be powder on the person that's overdosed, and that can get into the air. It's able to be airborne, and then other people around them can do it, like get high off it and potentially overdose.
There's videos on YouTube that show police officers.
You, a singular person, depending on how you take it, it can actually disperse out into the air.
Okay, that we have to go over that in a near future. There's a lot of debunking of that. Police officers supposedly are faking stuff.
Supposedly,
again, we're not going to do this right now because it's going to take us like 2 hours to go over. I've been following the fentanyl thingy-mabobber, and supposedly it does not go into the air. There's no medical people that actually say that. If we find out there is, we'll totally, like I said, we're not doing that right now.
Yeah.
We're not going to go over the fentanyl thing right now because there are so many things that are going on that it's really hard to tell. And I would love to go over like that eventually to see what we can find out from what things and stuff and things. It's very, very up in the air right now because there's so much of it around. It's a lot of false and a lot of like true. We don't know because it's so new. It's really hard for us to tell exactly, but we will go over that eventually. Let's not do that right now. So anyways, so he wants to get people off of fentanyl. So he gets these drugs tested at a free service in the downtown east side that uses a machine called an FTIR spectrometer that detects what people's drugs have in them with a laser. I don't know enough about this to completely understand what this is yet. We will delve further into what this spectrometer meter actually detects, but supposedly it's really, really good. And
if it's like anything like they use for the sun or planets or whatever, it's the particles give off a certain thing, and so
that's
I can't
kind of what they're saying.
They can detect what the chemicals and things are that are in there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and like I said, we'll have to look into it a little bit deeper just to like completely verify. Like we say when we do these things, we're just giving you information. And we may be wrong. You do your own research. You go and look things up and check us out. We're just
do your own research and keep it flat.
We're just throwing things out. I'm just throwing things out there. You know, exactly. So, anyways, the drugstore provide customers with a reliable access to safe, tested drugs, harm reduction supplies such as unused sterile needles, pipes, etc., and educational information. So every time somebody comes in to buy drugs from them, they will give them educational information and packets and trifolds and stuff like that. You will actually, they actually will give that with it, with whether you ask for it or not.
It's just automatic.
Okay, sorry. From what I heard, they will ask you if you are having problems with your drug use, and if you say yes, then they will give you the pamphlets.
Okay.
I don't think they gave it to everyone, but if you seem to be like you're having a problem with your addiction, then they will give you information on either how to quit, where to go to find help, and things like that. So what he's trying to do is just trying to make it so it's safer
for everybody.
Like what I heard when I was a teenager is humans are animals, and animals will go want to get high, right? We can see this in all the different species. There's squirrels, there's possums, there's monkeys, there's baboons, gorillas, and other things that will go and find places where there is man-made. Even deer. We watched the other day the nitrous oxide that was coming off the leaves, and these deer were going and sniffing it and then running around. Animals want to get high. They want to have fun.
Do.
They want to be positive, right?
They
you
just
want to be
want
in a
to feel
positive.
good.
Exactly, and especially in the fucked up world we live in, and all the everything we have to go through. People are going to want to do these things. You can't stop that. You can't say abstinence. Just like with sex, you can't say don't have sex. No, that's not going to fucking work.
It's not going to
fuck. No. You know, yeah, exactly. So
whether we like it or not, we're still
now,
animals. It's just it's our nature.
Yeah, and that's exactly. So we can't stop people from doing these things, but we can cause harm reduction avenues for people to make it so
to minimize it. Mm-hmm.
I don't remember what year it was, but I think it was in New York. New York. They had a safety center there, and they had over 200 people come into there, and they all shot up drugs. 31 of them overdosed.
Oh.
Guess how many died?
None.
Exactly. Because nurses and doctors were there, and they helped them through the process. They let the people do their own stuff. They gave them clean needles. They had their own drugs. They did not provide them with drugs. They came in with their own drugs. They gave them the safety things to do it. If they wanted to smoke meth, they gave them a meth pipe. If they wanted to shoot up, they gave them a fucking clean needle. They let them do it. And then after they came out of it, they asked them, do you feel like you need therapy? Would you like to get help? Is there anything we can do to make this so that you don't have to keep coming here to do it? You know what I'm saying? Like, how can we tell you to like not shoot up this many cc's of something, or how to test something? Like, come here and test it, but then you can still go home and realize you can shoot up your stuffs. You know what I'm saying? Like, like how can we make this safe for everybody? Because that's the problem is street drugs. You don't know what the fuck purity it is. When I was doing meth, and again, I've been clean for a gazillion years. It was 2008, I think I became clean. Anyways, you would get a bag, and you got like these like clear ass crystals, and we called them glaciers, because we would buy so much at a time that you get these like huge things that were just like see-through, but like you didn't know how it was made. And then like when I was younger, we got stuff called peanut butter, and it was like the color of peanut butter. It was like an orangish yellow brown, and that shit like made you like screwed up. And then there was Pink Panther, and Pink Panther was pink, and it was like it screwed you the crap up too. And like, so again, you didn't know exactly what you were getting at the time. And like you go to a drug dealer on the street, and you're like, hey, I need this, and you palm it. You give him the $20 or the whatever, and he gives you the drugs, and you walk away. You don't get to like sit there and go, sir, exactly what purity is this? Where did you get it? Who is your, you
don't get to inspect the product. You have to hope that he realizes not giving his like addicts bad shit is going to be beneficial for him in the long run. But then again, there's always going to be a junkie needing drugs. Like, so they're not going to care if they kill one or two of them, which is sad.
You don't know how they cut it. You don't know how they didn't know how to cut it, or they didn't mix it right. You don't know all that. So that's what makes it so that hopefully we don't have these overdoses if it's regulated in some way, shape, or form. Should it be everywhere, and should we be promoting it all over? No. But there should be these little places that help these people. So if you look up where to go to these safe places, you know where to go. Should they have a huge sign out front that says the drugstore? No. Yeah, exactly. It's safe houses or safe places.
Yeah.
Should it say shit out in front?
As well.
No. But
like promoting it isn't good. You saw what happened with kids and vapes, right?
Yeah, totally. Exactly.
Now so many teenagers are vaping. If we legalize, if we make it so there are literal shops and stuff, it's not gonna be good. I agree with decriminalization. That's fine. I think there should also be a dampener on it and say like we used to have
promote it.
a kind of thing here where you could smoke weed inside your home but not out in public. And I think you can do it at home but not in public, or you could do it at these safe houses, right? It has to be inside a building, not out in public where it can affect other people who don't want that shit.
And that's exactly the thing. Yeah. That's exactly the things about this is, do you want homeless people shooting up in the parks, or would you rather give them a safe space to go and shoot up in a place where they're not in the publics and they're not around your kids?
It also saves so much
and
money.
They could hopefully, exactly, because if they overdose in the freaking park, now they got to like have 20 cops come out. Now they've got to have EMTs
they've got
come
to
out
have
first,
the cops
and
come
then
out. They've got to have the EMTs, the fire brigade come out
then
to get
the
the
coroner.
bodies.
And then
they've also got to spend time trying to identify them, find out whether their family's alive or dead or not, if they've got someone that can claim the body, and then they've also got to spend money on a funeral, or if they're alive,
if they're not claimed,
but minus same thing, and then minus them being buried, just add them to needing to have their health insurance paid by the government. It saves so much money to fund one of these places to just have some cheap ass like testing kits and the syringes which cost pennies, and then Narcan to wake them up when they overdose.
And the other thing, there's other ones as well. Yeah.
They had. I was just looking it up. San Francisco just had a. They had it up for a year. It was a place for people in the Tenderloin district, which is the poor district of
SF.
San Francisco. It's the south side of Market Street. They could go and do drugs, and they had 400 people every day go and do drugs.
Yeah.
They were saying this article, 350 people had their lives saved that overdosed. Well, apparently when the lease was up, the city said, just let it go. So now they're worried about there's going to be more people that are going to be, overdosing. They're not even another overdose or whatever, And
the thing about the people that overdose in those establishments in these places, once they come out and they're saved, they have a therapist sitting next to them, asking them, "Let's talk this through. Do you realize you would have been dead if you were sitting in the street? How can we help?" Like they actually get them real freaking help, which is what they need, and especially mental health. Most of us people that are like junkies or do drugs, or like, I'm an alcoholic. I'll admit it. My name is Slim. I'm an alcoholic. Anyways, it's because of past traumas, and there's ways to get through therapy and do other things. Luckily for me, I've gotten away from the drugs. I used to be a hardcore junkie where I was getting like fucked up 24 hours a day. I was doing like stupid amounts of fucking drugs just so I couldn't think. Now I drink a couple beers every night.
Yeah.
I mean, most of the day I'm sober. I go to work. I do things. I run around. I take care of crap. And then we do these streams, and I drink a couple beers on stream.
My husband was a drug addict for a long time. Yeah. And people would ask him, what was your drug of choice? He says, anything but crack. I will not do anything that's named after a body part.
There you go.
But he would do anything that was available to him. And he was also an alcoholic. He's still an alcoholic recovering, but he has not had a drink in 25 years.
Good.
And he does not desire to have a drink either.
Good.
He'll joke and say, "Oh, maybe I need to start drinking again," but he doesn't go out and do it.
Yeah. Before we get into the rest of this, I don't want to do pharmaceutical narcotics, and with my medical conditions, I would either be on a bunch of pills that I was taking every day, or I can just drink a couple beers and smoke weed, and then my body is letting me live. So I feel like that's a little bit safer than doing pharmaceutical narcotics that are trying to give me especially that are experimental. I don't know what that's going to do to my liver. I don't know what that's going to do to things. That's what I used to do when I was younger. When somebody would be like, hey, you want to try a new drug? And I'm like, I don't know what the fuck about that. I'm not going to fucking do that. Although I did do a handful of experimental drugs, but that was only because I kind of heard about them and there was a little bit of research on it. And like 2 of the dudes who like actually made the fucking drug I met. So I was kind of like, you're a really, really smart pharmacist. I kind of believe that you know what the fuck you're talking about, even though like I don't know what it did to me. And I only did them once just because like I was there and the dude was like, hey, do you want to try this new drug? It's called Foxy or 2BC7 or this. And I'm like, wait, where did it come from? And he's like, oh, I made it. I'm like, I'm a chemist. And I'm like, okay, give it to me. You know, don't do drugs, kids. Anyways, so if Mr. Martin is charged in selling controlled substances, it is his intention to challenge the constitutionality of those laws. So really what he's trying to do is he's trying to see how much he can push the decriminalization of these laws. But again, he's trying to provide a way for people to get like really honestly tested drugs and give you safe needles and other things. Because what people don't realize is when you're smoking off your crack pipe, it's going to bust your lip open because it's going to get so hot at some point that you're like actually going to like get abscesses on your lips. And if you're sharing that with multiple people, whatever they have, you're going to get. So that's another reason why giving out free crack pipes or clean and other things, like that's one thing that people don't realize with drug addicts is when y'all are using the same pipe, y'all are getting the same fucking diseases. Even smoking weed. If somebody has TB, tuberculosis,
saliva,
then y'all are going to get it. If somebody has a cold, if somebody has the flu, if somebody has COVID, as soon as you hit that pipe with that person and it's not cleaned up, there are people that like they lighter off the end of the fucking thingy mabobber. But guess what? The rest of the pipe still has it.
Right,
you're still fucking sucking it. Like you didn't clean nothing.
Your hands touch it, and then they touch your whatever
and
else because you don't wash
everything.
them.
Yeah, no, you're all sharing the same. You might as well just be having sex with each other without condoms. I mean, literally,
just share bodily fluids already. Yeah.
Yeah, no, you might as well just spit on their genitalia and have them spit on yours and just.
Well, that's the other thing Ox brings up. People that roll the joints, they lick the paper and then you smoke that too.
Yeah. And most likely the smoking of it causes that to kill that, but still, again, you're gonna do that, and you're gonna share it with 20 people. So every person who puts their lips on that fucking
because you say like, oh yeah, you're lighting it, so you're burning it, but you don't have the burnt part in your mouth. You have a part in your mouth that is not that has not been burned and cleaned.
There's so many cross contamination. It's like it's not even funny when you're
doing it. There's so many.
Like I said, just simply touching it and then touching something else, you're cross contaminating.
Yeah, just handing it back and forth. Your hands holding it. One of you is gonna pick your nose at one point in time, or like rub your fucking face,
or you can touch your eye, whatever, after you do it.
Yeah. Exactly. So that's why clean drug tools. That's why clean drug tools are so important for this.
Yes.
Because in this underground society, people are spreading so many things back and forth and between each other and then to other people and blah, blah, blah. You know, like God damn it. So I don't remember what it's called. And I'll talk about it another time. But there are differently things that like get sexually transmitted between people. I didn't get an actual STDs per se, but there were like I got genital lice twice, and then I got I don't remember what it's called when it gets under your skin, but there were things that I got because I hung out with like homeless people and had sex with people not completely clean. You know what I'm saying? And then again, this was like 50 years ago. You know, I haven't had anything wrong in a gazillion years because I know how to be safe. But, you know, when you're a teenager teenager and you're hanging out with like homeless kids, like weird things happen and you're like, what the hell is that weird thing? And you know, you got to get it taken care of. So anyways, that's what we're talking about. So like it's the prevention of safety supplies and resulting in death and poisoning from other things, you know, having bad products and or one of the things that people used to do drugs is like you'd make a meth pipe out of a light bulb. And if your dumbass didn't know how to clean it out properly and you were using something that had a toxic material in it and then you light that and then smoke out of it, you just fucking gave yourself fucking lung cancer or whatever, right? Like you don't know.
Well, you basically poisoned yourself, yeah.
Yeah, exactly, Emily. And
Some
people were making crap out of
poisoning or something.
Exactly.
Like,
and that's
I have a friend
who
handling metals and things. She was taking electrician's class and stuff. She developed an autoimmune disease that turned into other autoimmune diseases.
Yeah.
And it literally, I forget what it's called, starts with an S. But yeah, it morphs into other autoimmune diseases. And she's still alive, but man, does she have a lot of issues?
Yeah, when I was younger, my best friend's dad had a junkyard in his house, in his backyard. Like literally, he had a house, and like we would just walk around the whole junkyard, and we'd find pieces of things, and we put them together and make pipes and make things to do drugs out of. I don't know what the hell they were made out of. I don't know if they were tin. I don't know if they were lead. I don't know if they were freaking whatever, right? And like we're smoking out of, you're causing heat to go into something that you're burning something in to smoke out of. Like, I don't know what I put in my lungs. Like, I didn't realize that until now. You know what I'm saying? Like a couple years ago, and I'm like, oh my God. And then, of course, my family has been casting pewter for the last 50 years. I've been around lead.
That has,
my whole life.
That has lead in it. Yes.
I've been lead poisoned my whole entire life.
Yeah.
I didn't realize how toxic it was until recently. And neither did the government. The U.S. government did not realize how toxic lead was until just recently. And they said, just being around it and like it's smelting even 100 feet away from you, 50 feet away from you. Yeah. It's going to get you. If you do it every single day, you're gonna be exposed. I had lead poisoning. I totally know it because I've had hallucinations. I went through weird things, not doing drugs around that shit.
And the thing with lead is, once it's in your body, it will never get out.
Right,
it's very hard to get out.
It settles in your bones.
Yeah, it's accumulative.
Yes,
like there are certain things that are accumulative. So the micro dose stays in your body.
Yeah, totally.
And one day you have that last little micro dose that sends your body into reaction.
Yep.
And that's it. There are certain poisons that have an accumulative effect. So you can't like get your body to have a
immune response to it.
Not immune response, like tolerance to it. Like
tolerance, gotcha.
A tolerance to it. You can be like, oh well, I'm going to start with a micro dose and build my way up, so like I can have it and it won't affect me.
Just like
Princess Bride with the iocane powder. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, your body, and then one day it's going to get you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly, Emily.
I can't remember what one it is though.
That's why every once in a while you notice that I'll like look up and I'll like swat at things. Like I still see fairies and stuff that are there. No, I'm just kidding. Okay. I'm just No, but there have been times working in the metal foundry and you start fucking feeling weird as fuck and you're like feeling crazy. And I didn't know what it was, but now I was like,
right.
Yeah, I was totally like heavy metal poisoned. Like I know that's happened to me a handful of times. Now we don't work with that. We only work with resin. And so it's hopefully not as toxic, but there are times that like I put on masks and we do things.
Just to clarify, it's actually called colmative, not accumulative.
Okay. Yeah.
Sorry. And lead is the first thing that comes up with it. I was Googling to find out what one was the poison that I knew about. And colmative, not accumulative.
There we go.
Yay.
I get that thingy. Thank you. Yes, heavy metal.
Yeah, I was gonna say, only good heavy metal poisoning is the music.
Exactly. Okay. Except for never mind. Except for when my ex used to put it on at like 6 o'clock in the morning while she was getting ready for work while I was sleeping and I had 2 more hours to work.
It's like my brother. My brother used to do that. Wake us up at 6 a.m. with his metal music.
I was like, babe, I was like, babe, I don't care. You play your heavy metal music anytime other than like 6 o'clock in the morning while you're getting ready to go in to work at 8. And you were there an hour playing it, and I have to wake up at 8 then to get ready to like. So I would just like, okay, I'm just getting up right now. Fuck it, like, you know. But yeah, I love heavy metal other than at 6 o'clock in the morning.
Good movie too, by the way.
Yes, and heavy metal is definitely an amazing movie. So what we're going to do now is we're going to talk about the hippies that have turned transphobic.
Why am I not surprised?
The wellness community has become very, very anti-vax and very, very QAnon. Because they deal with crystals and the other like weird wah stuff.
The woo stuff, yeah.
Sorry, woo stuff. So now it has become somehow transphobic. So let's see.
What did I say that loud?
Oh yeah, I forgot I had to do this. Give me just a millisecond to switch over the things because I don't know why that thingy-mabobber said it was it, but I had to go to the Daily Dot. And once again, in the Americas, anything that says daily in it is all run by Christian conspiracy theorists.
Like the Daily Beast.
I don't know.
Like that. Daily Mail.
Yeah, exactly. All of those are all connected together. So I don't know why they're putting this intake on it exactly, but here we go. So the hippie spiritual alt-right pipeline is real. Wellness TikTokers are pivoting to transphobic conspiracies. So a spiritual TikToker is claiming that every celebrity is born the opposite gender.
Oh no!
And going viral for it, helping promote the both far-right conspiracy and anti-LGBTQ rhetoric. So they are the blah, blah, blah. Again, I'm never saying anybody's name right that who we do
Deadera. I'll say them for you.
We're not, but we're not giving.
We don't want to give them the spotlight.
I'm sorry.
No, but it's okay, Mama. But that's why we're doing. Why I say things wrong in certain times. If I
where the name actually is, I could not pronounce that.
Exactly.
That shit bitch.
That shit bitch. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
And if we say it accidentally because we cannot pronounce it, then we will apologize for it.
That's exactly.
If we don't apologize we just think you're a cunt.
Exactly, and that's what I was about to say. So thank you, Brandon. So anyways, is a spiritual TikToker who promotes spiritual healing and becoming a warrior of light, which while rejecting what she calls 3D labels in this Earth universe. Wait. Which rejects what she calls 3D labels in a Earth
3D universe. Labels? What?
Okay. We have to do this. I haven't done this whole freaking show, but we have to do this. That was some motherfucking word salad.
Oh, that was
right there. I mean, literally, that was some word salad. All right, there we go. We're gonna get in more to that hopefully, and we'll do more of that hopefully tonight. Anyways, blah blah. Whose name is, according to her website, offers spiritual tips on her TikTok page, as well as paid retreats and mentoring sessions for people to reunite with soul family. So what I'm guessing is she charges like $5,000 for these punks to like come and go to these retreats or to these mentoring sessions. She's just making money off this because she figured out a way to make money off of idiots. A sacred vortex to reclaim your power back from the 3D matrix Activate your inner wisdom as you step into a 5D high frequency environment.
A lot of people that do woo sell something.
Yeah. Heal your karmic cycles, ancestors, alchemize, general blood traumas, and more. Her retreat page claims to offer.
Wow.
We all know there's just 4 dimensions. Come on. Like,
she also
does private ayahuasca ceremonies.
Yeah, she also sells private ayahuasca ceremonies where she tries to have sex with you. Anyways, allegedly. Anyways, on her TikTok page, she has over 100,000 followers.
87,000.
87,000.
87,000.
Okay. So yeah, the 100 would be that thing.
It'd be 6 digits.
Yeah,
it's only 5.
Also promotes baseless conspiracy theories such as Andrew Tate and Kanye Punk are Satanists. Of course, they totally love Satan.
Of course they are, you know.
No, because they're
and
not
speaking
good people.
of that devil, hail Satan. And anyways, that shows they were created by Big Pharma and the elites.
Shoes were created by Big Pharma and elites.
And the shoes were, yeah.
I'm guessing Kanye West shoes. I'm guessing
Kanye West. Yeah, there was the Kanye West shoes.
Yeah.
That he created.
And not just shoes in general.
In the TikTok blah blah lip syncs to audio of Kanye West speaking about telling the truth.
Oh Lord.
The text on the video promotes a conspiracy theory about celebrities and the LGBT community. When you expose a gender trap, I love that fucking shit. That's
gender
great.
trap, man. It's a gender trap.
Because remember, folks, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't want to be a certain gender, you're not going to be that. Like, nobody's like faking their gender for like very long. And the other thing I want to like point out once again, very, very, which we'll do a gazillion times, is if you're not gay, you're not gay. If you don't want to suck a dick, you're not going to suck a dick. If you don't want to eat out of pussy, you're not going to eat out of pussy. Somebody can like trick you into that like once or twice, but like you're not going to keep going for that if you're not that as an adult, right?
Yeah,
like you're gonna go, no, I really don't like getting squirted in the face by that vagina or vagina. You know what I'm saying? Like you're like, no, like I like a dick inside of me or whatever. You know what I'm saying? You know what you want eventually once you're an adult. Like nobody's tricking people into this. At first, yes, there was a couple times I got tricked into doing things with somebody that I didn't know. But again, I was trying things. Like I wasn't anti it.
Yeah,
but like
if you try things that, like, if you're like you're curious, like maybe that is fun or nice. Like
I'm gonna try it, and then you're like, whoa, that was not fun.
But,
and then you're like, no, that's not fun. No, I like wet vagina. You know, like you know. So again, nobody's tricking anybody, or nobody's getting anybody to like live the life that they're not living. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't convince somebody to keep sucking a dick if they don't want it. Like,
nope.
Right. So who's
and see,
convincing?
That's the thing is nobody who's a different gender than you is pushing it on you.
Well,
or you know what I mean? I mean, those are the extremists, though.
Well, let's just say you have a person in your life that is like, hey, try this, and then you did, and then you're like, oh, well, I really didn't like that up my butt.
Right.
Okay, well, now I'm going to not, you know what I'm saying? So there are going to be people asking you to experiment with different things. That's totally a thing once you get over 21. And when you're in college, everybody and their mom is going to ask you to do weird shit. Trust me.
Right?
No, but also like that's with sexual things and like with your sexual orientation. But there will not be any trans person that says, "Oh yeah, tells a guy like, "Oh yeah, go try and be a woman for a while."
Yeah, no, totally. You know, yeah. There's nobody.
No one's forcing you to transition. You're not going to have someone round up a load of like cis men and say, if you don't start calling yourself Bertha and dressing up in this pretty pink frilly dress and frolicking around in flowers, because you can't only have to transition, you have to be a hyper feminine stereotype of a woman from the 1950s, which is something I think is inherently fucking wrong with the transition process anyway. But I digress. You know, no one's doing that. Oh, we're going to transition or we're going to shoot you. No one's doing that. The only people that are transitioning are the people that want to fucking transition, and detransitioning happens, but it is a fraction. And do you know why so many suicides happen after transitioning? Because of fucking right-wing dickheads for making an issue of it. Transitioning doesn't magically wipe away all the trauma before they transitioned.
And it does not stop it from happening further into them doing that into places. And then really quick, before we get just a tiny bit further into this, because it really doesn't matter anymore. Like, this was just like, you know, us talking a little bit about the weirdos on the other side. Anyways, is they said it's like 0.0006 or 2 of people that want to retransition back again.
So it's rare.
So we're talking about 1 in a gazillion.
I know.
Well, bear in mind, only 1% of the world population is trans, and that 0.00 is that's like 10 people.
Yeah.
In a whole year.
So small.
I know when my son, my oldest son, when he transitioned before he had his top surgery.
Yeah.
But he had to go through therapy. He had to go talk to somebody prior to. Well, when he came to us as a female at 19, he identified as a boy, dressed as a boy, bound his breasts and all that stuff.
Yep.
So he already was in that phase of his life.
Yeah. Okay.
But he is not. I'm assuming I think he's a pansexual.
Yeah.
He wasn't lesbian. He was attracted to the person, not the sex. Or the gender.
Yeah.
So and he's still that way. And he dated a guy for 2 years thinking, well, this is what I have to do. This is what I was told to do, and blah, blah, blah. And they were in love and everything, but he never wanted sex either. Very asexual.
Yeah.
So that was fine, you know. But what was it? 2 or 3 years ago, he started transitioning, taking testosterone. And he already had a little bit of a deep voice to begin with.
Okay.
So then he decided before Trump could take away trans health care, well, we need to get top surgery, and that's what he did. And he's much happier in his body now.
Yeah.
And he's waiting for the day when he can actually have a male member surgically attached, you know. But until then, he packs.
Yeah.
Yep.
I really hope that day comes for him.
I hope so.
Honestly, I can't remember if it's called penoplasty or phalloplasty. I think they are actually both legitimate ones and different versions of the operation, but I cannot remember. But they are coming up with some amazing ways to do it all now. Like, my gosh. And also, generally, they kind of get to pick a size.
Yeah, that's true.
So, like,
Bossers!
They're doing amazing
I want to pick my size.
There are tattoo artists that like tattoo veins and shit on it.
Yeah. They can
and like you're able now to actually have nerve feeling in it. You can. It's not just there anymore. It's like you could feel feelings, and like that's so cool that they're able to do it now without damaging all the nerves. Like
they're able to transplant.
I even heard they were looking into being able to donate your womb to trans women.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
And if it wasn't for my medical condition, I would be signing up for the trials. I would happily donate it to help figure out a way to make that real.
Yeah,
because genuinely, yes, I genuinely think that with these advancements, that would be a beautiful thing that we can do.
Yeah, definitely. That's a thing that's going to be something in the near future. So, anyways, they said that in these video posts, the tags were the female red pill, Matrix, which were far right and QAnon tags. So it's obviously anti-vax and COVID-19 far right rhetoric that is like pulling most of this for the transgender individuals that they're saying. Anti-LGBTQ LMNOP plus was also inspired by the Don't Say Gay bill, which is transphobic.
What?
Let's see.
Oh, do you not know about that, Brainless?
No.
Legislation got brought up in school that now school teachers are not allowed to mention that being transgender, that being homosexual or a lesbian, any part of the LGBT community, spanning from like ace, pan, any of it, you can't talk about it to children in school. You cannot mention it. And there was even floating that if you suspected a child was part of the LGBT community, you had to out them to their parents.
Yeah.
And we're talking about a place where they may get beaten when they get home, shipped off to conversion camps, or kicked out and made homeless.
Yeah.
And
that's what they want. They want all the gay people to die.
I know.
Teachers were petrified for their students. They really were.
So
I watched quite a few YouTube teachers that do YouTube because they need to make money somehow. And hearing them and watching videos, I'm fucking crying. How they're scared because they've had an experience with a child that's needed help. And this bill could make it so these children don't get any of the help they need.
You're talking about the Florida bill?
Yeah. And there's going to be a spike in suicides of these children because they're not getting any help. Fucking terrifying.
Exactly.
America, fuck yeah.
No, Florida. The Floridians.
Isn't Florida America? Because that can
it's part of America, but it's a bad part of America in my opinion.
And that other one really big on the other side, Russia.
How the place that is renowned for Florida Man, the epitome of stupidity.
Yeah.
And drunken and drug-addled antics could also have such tyrannical right-wing fuckery.
It all depends on who the leadership is.
I genuinely, for so long, was so confused because I would hear Florida Man and all that antics and shit, and I thought it must be the liberal state, and then I found out that no, it's really not, and I was like,
see, stuff that goes on in Florida does not fly here in California.
Yeah,
that's the thing. I was getting Florida and California mixed up consistently. I kept thinking one was the other.
Oh, okay.
I would hear California. I'm like, oh, California, yeah, that's cool. That's the one that's kind of left wing, And then I'd hear Florida, and instead of picturing Florida, I would picture California. And I don't know
California is actually what we call a purple state because there's a lot of Republicans and Democrats here. But the majority of the state Senate and the governor and stuff, they're pretty much all liberal Democrats. That's all we've known for a long time, for decades in the state, is liberal Democrat, legislatures and stuff. So we have we have some of the most stupid laws that are just feel-good laws. They don't do anything.
Yeah, totally. Okay, so we're going to get to the last topic of the day.
Okay.
And it is anti-LGBTQ parents now want to deprogrammers to turn their estranged kids conservative.
Oh my God.
So the new trend seems to be all the rage for anti-LGBTQ parents who have been increasingly touting the need to deprogram their progressive children and turn them conservative.
But it said estranged, so those are kids that decided to go, Mom, Dad, I love you, but I can't be around you anymore. See ya.
Yeah, that's
But
exactly
that's
the
what
moment
strange
we're
is.
talking
Do you know
about.
why
That's
that's
exactly.
scary? The original guy that was going around calling the whole deprogramming thing was kidnapping the children from these cults, holding them captive in rooms, and was not deprogramming them. He was brainwashing them.
Right,
Yeah, of course
right.
he was.
Just a different form of brainwashing.
He was doing what? What do we call it? Grooming.
Grooming.
He was grooming
Yeah,
them.
well, yeah.
And like it's fucking scary because like the parents paid him
I know.
to go and kidnap their children.
Yeah, I know.
Because their children weren't doing what they wanted. It wasn't
Yes.
always like a crazy, scary cult.
No,
Take them into this place, tie them to a chair, and like beat, sometimes actually physical violence. Like he actually got in trouble with the police for this.
They missed school a couple times. They smoked a marijuana cigarette, and these are the people.
Oh, heaven
that got
forbid!
Put into there. Oh my
heaven
God!
Forbid
You missed
kids
school.
get in trouble. That's what kids do.
What a teenager fucking acts up. Oh my God! Yeah, fucking kill them. What the fuck are you guys talking about? This is work them to death is what I meant. Like, obviously I'm not saying kill children, but no, that's what they were doing. Is they were working kids to death. They were getting them like dislocated shoulders. They were getting them like broken bones, malnutrition, all this stuff, just like they did in the 1960s or something. There was the Muslim whatever, and it was, I may be saying that wrong. I'm not going to completely say it was Muslim, but it was, there was an organization that did the same thing. They went to the ghettos and they had all the kids and they brought them into these work camps technically, and they enslaved them and they did all this. There were a handful of like little girls that died from malnutrition and because they had like mental disorders and they didn't take them to the right places to get them, and so they like tied them down to cots and all. Like, we'll go over this in the near future, what I'm talking about.
That's not mental health,
but
that's not a mental health problem.
Harry, I'm really sorry, what does COS stand for? I don't know that abbreviation,
and I don't know for the cost.
Oh, he said earlier that
awareness network is CAN.
But I
don't know what COS is.
Okay, so let us know that for sure. But anyways, let's keep blowing on with what they're trying to do, just like they had
Church of Science. Okay. I was thinking Church of Science, but yeah, I was in the ballpark.
Oh,
but
yes,
just like
he was doing it to the Church of Scientology people. He was
kidnapping
their members.
They were held in like buildings in Hemet Valley and treated like prisoners of war and stuff like that.
Yeah, for like 6 months or like months.
Yeah, and like the parents were paying them to do this.
Yeah,
and Church of Scientology is no better with the shit they do. Like,
okay, hold on.
But we won't.
We got in trouble for talking about Scientology before. We're not going to talk about them.
We love Scientology. Scientology is the best.
We're going to keep blowing on with this because this is almost the same thing.
Get rid of them Satans.
It's a cult anyway, so
so
there you go.
Let's blow on with what we're talking about in this instance.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
Come on.
The church
I'm giving my own free opinion, so
allegedly.
Yeah, but we don't want to get Slim's channel taken down.
True.
Yeah.
We love them. They're great.
All hail.
I think you all know my opinion on that.
I'm not going to acquiesce to that.
They have a right
No, I know.
to have their beliefs.
Okay. Hold on. Okay, so let's keep blowing on with this.
Sarcasm.
So, the recent report from the New York Post, of course, they're very right wing, features a group of mothers who say their children refuse to talk to them after being indoctrinated with gender and race ideology by the progressive high schools and colleges. It's all the fucking academiology's faults.
If they're saying like that, like it's those kind of churches, I would guess it. They say, oh, they don't want to talk to us, when it is, oh, they want to talk to them,
but they won't.
But mom is not allowed. As long as you have those beliefs, mommy cannot talk to you.
Yeah,
exactly. So
I find it funny how those that are indoctrinated to get them deprogrammed, they have to indoctrinate them, re-indoctrinate them with something else.
Yeah.
Like re-educate
Not
them.
just that, like they can't. It has to be indoctrination, right? They cannot fathom that that's just their freely held beliefs,
right?
And they don't get that by their logic of just being around these people for a consistent amount of time and then talking about their thoughts and theories and things and all that. Like, that's so much more laid back than the indoctrination of going to church regularly from a young age.
Right.
I never went to church when I was a kid. Never.
I did.
I wasn't brought up that, like, it was a big thing in my life. I even went to fucking Catholic school where nuns taught us.
Yeah.
Nuns.
Right.
Yeah.
And we went to mass like once a week on a Friday. And that was it.
Yeah.
It wasn't heavy Christian because, like, these were nuns at the end of their lives. They were getting old, and they were just actually trying to fucking teach us. They weren't trying to make us Christians.
Okay.
Which was actually pretty cool. But, like, I wasn't brought up with that, so I don't have this stigma of indoctrination.
Right.
Right? But someone that is brought up with religion constantly, Sim, you were, and you said before you were heavy with it, like.
Well, I don't know 100% that my parents were actually very, very agnostic, but in kindergarten, for some reason, they sent me to Christian school, and that's where I got molested for the first time.
Yeah.
And then when I got kicked out of the school district as a teenager in 9th grade, the only school that would take me was a Christian private school.
Gotcha.
So I went back to that, and that only lasted 6 months until I got kicked out for finger banging a chicken chapel. So
I remember you saying that you thought you had the
I was a demon.
You thought you were the Messiah or the demon or something, and I was like,
I thought
so that's where Orange is the New Black got it
heavy
from.
So what they told me is they told me I was a fallen angel from heaven to here to abduct the children of the earth. At 16 years old, they told me I was told that. So of course, being 16 years old, I motherfucking thought it. And I was a junkie. I was still doing drugs. I was still doing, and of course you're doing drugs and somebody tells you you're fucking immortal. You're like, fuck yeah, I am. And then
16,
one day,
you think you're immortal anyway.
Yeah, of course. And then one day I was sitting at home. I was probably 17 or 18 around this time. And like I took a hot poker and I shoved it into my arm and I went, ow, that hurts. And I went, okay, I'm not a fucking immortal.
Yeah.
Because if you're an immortal,
like, you
wouldn't feel
think
right?
you needed to not believe these people around you that are given positions of trust. Like
they're very high up people.
Spawn, right?
Yeah,
babies are born in a fucking eggshell, and then I have to sit on it and make it hatch.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
She would have believed it. Maybe not if I tell her now, but when she was younger, I brought her up with that.
They'll believe anything.
Look at children with Santa and the Tooth Fairy.
Well, that's what. Yeah, and
they don't. Children believe what you say because you know. To them, you know everything.
To them, you're mom and dad. You're authority to them.
Yeah,
and you have this story that makes sense,
right?
Kind of.
Like the stork brought
like
you, kind
there
of
is
deal.
the background that kind of fills in all the details. Like, and if you have a question about Santa, we have an answer, right? You know what I'm saying? Like when a little kid asks you something, you were like, oh, blah blah blah. Okay, we fill in the details, and so it completely makes sense.
Your children are gonna, if you say Jesus is real and all this and that, they're gonna believe you. They're gonna listen, and they're going to go up with that, especially you take them to church and they say all these other people believe it as well. And it's like, well, if mummy believes that, or if daddy believes that, like mummy and daddy believe that, and all these other people believe it, they can't be wrong, right? Because like you can't be that many people be wrong about something.
And then they also trick
wrong.
And they also trick you into feeling something through the services and through the rituals, right?
It's
Oh,
the
So they're like
camaraderie
you're
that
gonna
you
feel
feel.
God, or like let's
Yeah.
sing this or let's do this, and you get beat into it so long that your brain kind of like says it's totally got to be a thing, right? Like this, you just get into it.
And there's the idea of time investment, emotional investment, etc. It's like I've put too many years of my life into the church. I've donated too much money into the church for me to allow myself to believe that it was a lie, that I was giving this man money so he could just fucking have a like Bugatti.
Bugatti,
I
and he
gave
wants
him
to be
all this money
you know
for
what I'm
this
saying?
and
Overhead.
that. Like,
once again, folks, ladies and gentlemen, we're not saying nothing is not something, right? If you believe in a religion and a deity and you keep going with that, we're all fine. The extremism and extremists are the people we go against.
You have every right to
push
believe
this
what the fuck
so
you
far.
Want.
I've said this before and I'll say it again.
Indoctrinate your children, though.
Right.
I don't believe that from a young age you should be having your children reading the Bible. I don't believe that you should be taking them to church constantly. If they're gonna do God, they're gonna do it regardless of any of that, right? And I believe that like that what you're doing, whether you think it or not, is indoctrination.
Of course.
Indoctrination doesn't always have to have a insanely negative infliction to it.
I really wish.
The thing I found is I took my kids to church constantly every Sunday. When my kids were teenagers, my daughter didn't want to go to church anymore.
It's boring as fuck.
She learned, I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, not a problem. So she decided on her own to stay or go. Same with my son.
But you are a good mum that didn't take them to a bad church.
See, I wish.
See, one thing I found too, religion in and of itself is not bad. It's the people that control others using that religion.
Exactly. Yeah. Belief in something is not a bad thing. Or the way you use it. Like if you look at the Holy Bible as a teaching tool to kind of run your life, or to kind of like look at things in a positive way, or think that like there's a goal to achieve.
Right.
That's perfectly fine, especially for junkies, especially for anybody who's gotten stuck in the system, anybody trying to improve their life. If you need to go to the Jeebus to do that, go freaking there. If you want to be a Satanist to do it, if you want to be a Muslim to do it,
it's very beneficial for narcissists, because having this idea of a higher power that will punish them for their negative actions, it helps them keep in line and actually try to fight their nature, which is absolutely difficult. And narcissist gets used as a fucking negative word. It shouldn't do. You cannot help if you are a narcissist as much as you cannot help if you have depression, if you have like anxiety, any of these things. It's not something you choose to have.
No, but you need to go and get help with it, and you need to find out like counseling and all that other blah blah blah. Anyways, let's keep going on further into this.
I don't want people to think I'm using it negatively, because like
yeah, of course.
We are narcissistic to a point. I mean, think about that.
We all are, but there is a genuine psychological diagnosis.
Yeah,
the only reason like that an individual can keep going on in their life is they have to be on the defense a lot, because like the earth is not made here to not kill us. No, everything is trying to kill us at all times.
Right.
There's mold. There's botulism. There's all kinds of things. Everything is trying to kill you at all times. So to be on guard is not a negative thing per se, as long as you don't take it further than going past a certain aspect of it. Like when I meet somebody for the first time, I ask them a handful of questions and I listen to the way they talk. I am partially prejudiced on the way that they're dressed. Again, I don't care about who they are. I look at how they're dressed and how they talk to me, right? And then, and their age to some extent, just because there are certain times where like a 16-year-old is talking to you, you're like, you're full of shit. Just fucking stop talking to me. Right.
Right.
But so, you're definitely prejudiced in certain ways. And I'm doing that. But again, I'm not looking exactly at their race per se. Unless I'm in a weird place and somebody is in a weird place that's that certain another race, then I'm just like, hey, bro, what's going on? Why are you here? Not to like get the cops there, but hey, let's all hang out, you know what I'm saying? Just like, cool. That doesn't matter. But what I do is I like talk to people for a handful of minutes. You go over shit. Hey, where you been? Where you grew up? Shit like that. And then you find out kind of their story, and you're like, okay, now I can kind of assess them. Like if they're like, hey, you want to go to like my house 3 blocks away and smoke crack? You're like, well, I don't know that much about you, bro. Like I'm probably not going to do that, even though I don't smoke crack. But you know what I'm saying? Like that's why you do a little bit of field work first, right? And that's when I decide things. Like I will initially think something of somebody. But it's not until I have enough communication with them. And or the other thing I'm not going to do is I'm not going to judge them outright and like yell at them like, oh, you're a black dude, blah, 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 in this alley. You're stealing shit. I'm like, nah.
You're not a Karen.
Exactly. I'm going to be like, hey, bro, what's going on? Hey, we want to party? You want to smoke some fucking shit? You don't want to smoke a joint in this alley? And if homie's trying to like get out of there and he's like darting his eyes around or he's like holding something, and like, oh, he's probably not doing something right. Not because of who he is or what is, like I'm saying, it's like what things are in the situation. Anyways, let's get back to this part of it. And then we're almost done for the night. I wanted to maybe do one more thing before we get out of here. So I just want to go over like, I think just this. And then we'll get to the next thingy-mabobber. So this mother was inspired by another story in the New York Post of Annabella Rockwell, a pharmaceutical fortune heiress, right-wing activist, and the Mount Hollow blah, blah, blah alumni who claimed that her mother hired a $300 a day deprogrammer to turn her conservative after college. So
a woman, and because like she's an heiress, pharmaceutical fortune,
right?
As well, they've got the money; they can get away with it. He could have kidnapped her to a fucking foreign country and they can get away with it.
Like where like Andrew Taint is, over there, and
that idiot.
Bukwai. So really quick. So all of the rest of this is just stuff that is the same difference. It's just quotes from like rich white women that like want their like daughters or sons not to be trans anymore. And what's really, really, really funny is they think this is like a trend, but like I don't know if anybody out there has like ever thought of getting like a surgery on themselves as a cosmetic thing. Vila, and other people, we've had surgeries that were not cosmetic. We had to have them done to save our lives. Most people realize getting surgeries done to themselves is life-threatening in most cases, right?
Yeah.
Unless
always a risk.
Right? Exactly. We most of us understand the concept of there's a risk of getting stuff done. I have a gazillion fucking implants. I have so many freaking things done to me. My tongue split.
Yeah.
Things done that were done cosmetically. For you to go through that is not fucking easy.
No.
Okay. You can look at a bunch of little fucking 19-year-old girls. You can look at a bunch of 19-year-old little boys that have gotten their fucking hands tattooed or their tongues split at a barbecue or blah, blah, blah. Their fucking eyes inked and da-da-da on the whim. Sure, it happens once in a blue moon. We're talking about 0.0001% of the freaking population that decides to be a dumbass with this shit, right? What I'm speaking about right now is people deciding that they want to change their bodies into other things, going through therapy, finding the right people to do it, and to deciding what they want to call themselves through the process and doing it slowly. That's the other thing, is people that turn their bodies into other genders, they will go through years of therapy. Then you go and talk to a doctor, surgeon, nurses. You go through what is going to happen through this concept of changing your body into this top or bottom surgery. Then you wait a couple more months before you get the surgery. This is not an immediate thing where all these people think that like you just walk into a fucking hospital. I guess I don't even understand their concept of this, but I guess they think you walk into a hospital and you're like as a 10-year-old without your parents, right? You just walk into a hospital and go, cut off my fucking junk so I can have a vagina. And they're like, sure, yeah, of course. Just, I don't even understand and how do they pay for it? How does a 10-year-old pay for getting bottom surgery?
See, that's what these people, these right-wing people think. They think kids that are on hormone blockers, it's the same thing as transitioning.
And it's not.
It's not.
It's just making sure that your testosterone, it's just making your testosterone and your estrogen.
Hormone blockers are very straightforward. They block hormones.
Yeah, right. So
they don't change anything. They just block your.
Yeah, it's the ebb and flow of testosterone or estrogen, right? It's the ebb and flow. It's just making sure you don't get too much of whatever.
Exactly.
And to the best of our knowledge,
body as a blank slate.
Exactly. And to the best of our knowledge,
later you can decide, like, I'm not completely sure yet. I want to postpone my puberty.
Yes.
Even I, as a dumbass, that cis dude, like, knows that. Like,
so
why the fuck do they not?
And so the best.
Oh God, Harry! No kidding.
Will you read that out? Because
Annabella Rockwell is PragerU's director of development.
Okay.
And he's a very right-wing gentleman.
Yeah.
Prager.
So anyways, so like the hormone therapy, besides for not knowing if you want to be male or female gender going through this, is used for very, very young women who get their period at like 9 years old.
Right.
So this is also used as hormone therapy for young girls to make
it's also used for menopausal women as well.
And there you go. It's for the spectrum. It's not just used for transitioning. And we've been using this for fucking 50 years or something like that now.
A long time.
Yeah. And now we're using it on things. We're finding out so far stunting that progression until they get 16 or 18. Let's just say 16, because I don't think we're going to 18. I have to do a little bit more research, and I have to talk to Prince, because Prince is going through this process right now, and unfortunately he's not here to help us talk about this a little bit more, and we will next week. We're doing the body dysmorphia thing, and we're gonna have a bunch of people on who gone through that, and or people like Mama whose family has gone through that. So hopefully I will let everybody know in the background when we're going to do that, so we hopefully get everybody on at the same time. But that's the problem, is these people think there's a problem with the people who are going through this. No, it is my internal mentality who's telling me I don't belong in this body. I need to be something else. When I was a lot younger, when I was 14 years old, I began going through this. When I was 15 years old, I almost got turned into a transgender prostitute. I had a pimp who was female who said she will pay for me to get transitioned so that she could pimp me out. I almost did it just because it would have been a free transition, but then I had other people around me telling me that I would be hers forever.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
And I would never be able to pay her back.
Right.
And not just that, I still in my brain was not 100% sure about transitioning 100%, just because I didn't know 100% what the mental disorder I was going through was.
Right.
I began wearing dresses at 14 years old, and my parents sent me to a psychotherapist. I went through 2 or 3 different male psychotherapists, and then I finally got the lovely female that really helped me. And she used to wear weird stockings and weird dresses, and she dressed kind of goth,
Okay.
and she helped me through the process. And she said, where did this and where did that, and like, what movies do you think? And she actually got me to read the Carlos Santana, I want to say that, but I don't think it's right, Carlos Santana books about the gentleman who was a botanist who went to Mexico to find out about peyote and about other hallucinogens.
Oh, okay.
And I read all the 24 books of his. And it helped me immensely, because I was experimenting with hallucinogens a bunch then to figure out who I was and what was going on. And at 18 or 19 years old, I realized I'm a gender fluid being. I don't need to be male or female. I am just whatever I am, whenever I am, which, if you look at Star Trek with the Borgs.
Yeah.
And then I said, oh, I'm a cyborg. I'm a non-gender being.
Well, don't forget that one Star Trek, they had that androgynous planet. You know, you weren't attracted to, you were attracted to whatever. And
you know, it was
same type of thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So not just from there, but I looked at other places, and my best friend's family was very polygamous. She was dating multiple people, male and female. She was a sex worker, and so were multiple people that lived in the house, and that's where I got kind of familiar with that. And like, I saw never mind. Anyways, so like, people are not going to be transitioned into things if they don't want to do it. You can't deprogram somebody to not be something if they're already that. Like, we've already come to find out through gay revision therapy camps. Is that what they're fucking called?
Gay conversion camps, aren't they?
Yeah. They don't freaking work. They don't work.
Yeah.
No.
Obviously. So that's what we're getting at right now. Sorry, Vila. So that's what we're getting at right now, is they think they can deprogram LGBTQ, LMNOP, and trans and other people in the community to being normals. No,
Normals,
honey,
there's no such thing as normal.
All you can do is break them of their will to fight.
Yeah, well, they think, but you know what's gonna be hilarious as fuck is when there's like 10,000 dudes in a dress out in front of Congress or whoever says that, and
did I miss the stabbing in the face? Skit says, "Can we tell you to stab yourself in the face?"
Oh, I guess maybe Slim donated something, possibly.
Skits.
Yay,
check it out.
I didn't miss it. I'm so happy.
Skits, did you donate?
Sorry, I don't want you to actually...
He probably did.
No,
he did put down...
I totally know he did, but I'm just...
Yeah.
He totally did. Okay, so here's how this blows.
Oh, yeah, he put down, who wants a knife to the face at 35 after.
Yeah, and so
I'm guessing it might have been that time when he donated.
Yeah, so he donated the $20.
I thought it was something to do with his cult. He said he only has Crystal Light in his cult. And I asked him which flavor. And I don't think he's responded to me yet.
Skits.
Jeez, that's going to be great. Yes, thank you, Skits.
I was reminding me at 37 after,
not reply to your mother.
So thank you very much, Skits. like we were talking about last night, I don't know if everybody was here because that was the first time we were back on. All of the money that gets donated in the next week is going to be put towards StreamYard for all of us to stream. So the more that you donate to us, the
Raspberry Ice, okay.
the less that it costs all of us to stream on StreamYard. And we have a handful of us now. So if you the more money you throw down, the more that we actually get to do these things that you are watching right now, which is these streams. So thank you very much. So we're going to do this. Are you all ready?
Ready.
Do it.
Stabby, stabby.
We're going to do it this way.
Stabby.
So here we go.
Ooh. Lick that knife. There we go.
What does it feel like while it's in
there?
Hey, I see peace of mind.
Is it like touching your brain?
Yeah, see on the end of that, that's what we call peace of mind.
Well, I want to know, what does it feel like while it's in there?
Yeah.
Do you get that weird burny sensation at the back of your
eye? Like the tickling, kind of?
So when I first began... okay, let's go to the progression of... Thank you, Skits. Let's go to the progression of going further and further to it. So I used to swallow a 15-inch hemostat. That was the first thing I used to swallow instead of a sword because I was not at a sword yet.
Right.
So one night, what I did is I swallowed the hemostat and I pulled it out and then I put it inside my skull and I bent my head down and it snapped and it fell out of my skull and I noticed there was blood on the end of it. At that point, I ended my set. Harry Warp, we'll talk about whatever you're sharing in a second about whatever that is. I will look at that in a second once I get done with the story. Anyways, once I got off stage, I called my friend who's a facial surgeon. So he does facial constructive surgeries for people that like get knocked, like get in car accidents.
Right.
And I was like, hey, bro, do I need to go to the hospital? Do I need to get something, And I told him what happened. And he said, he starts laughing. And I'm like, what, dude? And he's like, bro, if you would have, what I asked him was, did I crack my skull? I heard a crack and it fell out.
Oh, okay.
And he starts laughing. And then I go, what? And he goes, bro, if you crack your skull, you pass out.
Yeah.
He's like, you see a boxer that gets hit hard enough in the face enough in a certain place, they pass the fuck out, right? He's like, you can't do anything about that to some extent. And so I said, what did I do? And he said, you heard a cracking noise? And I said, yeah. And he goes, oh, that was the cartilage that you have inside your skull. I was going to say
the cartilage. Okay.
Yeah. He's like, there's cartilage all around here and even here and up here. And I said, so what you're telling me is I can crack the cartilage inside my skull and I can fit larger objects? And he goes, no. And
that's not what I meant. That's not what I meant.
and I hung up the phone.
Oh,
so the next day,
you bastard!
Yeah.
Scaring your friend like that.
Yeah. So the next day, what I did is I took a tent spike and I put it inside my skull and I just went.
Oh God, Slim, no.
And it felt and it sounded so horrible in my face and blood came out. And I did that for a couple of days and then I called him back and I said, hey bro, when do I know that I'd like hit skull or like how do I know when I fucked up? And he goes, you're gonna know. And he hung up on me. He hung up on me.
God.
No, I was just so curious because so with having like all the nose jewelry, boogers can accumulate, right?
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
So like, I normally get when I'm in the bath, like just after I've had a really hot bath, I get the Q-tip to make sure everything's all clean in there, right?
Yeah.
I accidentally sneezed
while
having a Q-tip up, it tickles, and I got the burning sensation at like the top of my nose, across the under eye socket.
Yeah.
And it's like, do you feel that when you do it? Is that a sort of feeling you get?
Yeah. Okay. Hold on. I'm not done with the story.
Oh, yay.
So,
Venus, like, come on, hurry up.
So I'm actually every day I'm at work, working for the family, and I'm pretend I'm swallowing stuff. Right. Once an hour. I'm putting things inside my skull once an hour. I'm like piercing myself once an hour. I literally this is the beginning of me turning myself into a sideshow artist. So I'm just like fucking myself up behind closed doors,
right?
Constantly. Which is even funnier when all of the people that work for us on our telephone calls were all female. So they would walk into my office and I'm just like clipping things to my nipples or whatever, and they're just like
when you're walking in and going, close the door, walk away.
Yeah. They're like, I'll be back in 10 minutes or whatever. But anyways, so one day I had my stuff and I put it in my skull and I went like this and I passed out. I literally fell to the ground and blacked out.
You hit bone.
Yep. So I called up my homie and I said, yeah, exactly. I called up my homie and I said, I just fucking my knees buckled and I fell to the floor and blah, blah, blah. And he goes, you hit skull, and he hung up on me again. So I was like,
that's
okay.
funny.
I think he was kind of mad at you.
Well, him and I are really good homies. So he was like, yeah, I'm gonna fuck with you, especially with the way you fuck with me.
Yeah, exactly.
But anytime I call him up and I ask him about facial, he'll run down the whole thing. Like the first time I asked him about the whole thing and where things go, he literally talked to me for 2 hours straight about how my face works.
Which is smart.
Yeah, no, he was amazing.
Because you know the anatomy and everything, so you can do it easier.
Yeah, and he's like, this does this, and if you do this, and if you sneeze while this is happening, and there's a thing in here, then if you take this and put it in the top of your mouth and you push it up, you can get it to come back out. He was telling me how all of it works. And I was like, cool. So then I was shoving stuff down my gullet 6 times a day. Every hour I would shove something down my gullet, wait an hour, do it again. I was shoving needles in my body constantly. I mean, I have them on YouTube. If you look at my older videos, there's videos of me just shoving needles all throughout my body just as training, and me eating a light bulb, swallowing things. I mean, literally my YouTube and my old stuff shows all of me doing all of that fucking crazy stuff.
Wow.
So yeah, that was
Amazing.
Me training to get to here. Okay. So I think we got to all of the subjects, I believe. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
We
But
did.
not just to the feeling that it gives when it's inside your nose.
I mean, I've got a lot of things inside of my orifices, but we'll talk about that later.
Yeah, that's a later discussion.
Does it still have
shit. Thank you so much for saying that. Okay, so the first time I began putting knives inside my skull. So what I was doing is I was taking tent spikes. Right?
Yes.
And I was putting them in, and they're like that.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Half an inch or so diameter. Yeah.
Then the first time I began putting knives inside my skull, there's no diameter.
Yeah, that's true.
So what I began feeling was it was hitting that. I put it in this side, I think. Whatever, it doesn't matter. The nerve endings go to here, but it was this side because it had to be in this side because it's this side. Yeah.
Was it affecting your teeth?
Yeah, no, it felt like somebody was sawing through my teeth.
So there's a nerve
fudge.
Oh, okay. Oh, wow.
When I first
a lot
began
of the
doing
nerves
this,
are connected or cross over.
Yeah,
so
that's
like,
true.
yeah,
it's
exactly.
when, you know, we got our noses done, our eyes watered, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
not
totally.
in that there was pain. It didn't
Yeah,
hurt, but it's a knee-jerk reaction that happens naturally in the body.
So it was between these two teeth.
Mm-hmm.
It felt like somebody was cutting, like slicing into my skull.
Oh, wow.
Up here, and then the knife is going in here, and then it
Mhm.
also felt like things were poking there as well. But what you do eventually, just like working or doing anything with your nerve endings, it eventually dulls, and now I can do it without it. Like I don't even,
Right,
I don't
right,
even,
right.
I don't. But the first time, whew, dude, it was fucking insane pain to have in me, and like the first time I lifted a keg with my ears, my skin ripped away from the muscles on my cheeks.
Oh.
I literally heard.
Oh.
Yeah. And then once again, I called my facial surgeon and I said, dude, I heard a bunch of weird shit. And like, I have a little bit of swelling under here. And he goes, if your neck's not swelling, then you're okay. He's like, if there's not blood pooling right around here, he's like, you're not dying. He's like, you're going to wake up and your fucking shit's going to suck for a couple of days. But he's like, as long as there's nothing down, you know,
it'll heal.
I love all the nurses, all the doctors, all the people, surgeons that I know, because they've walked me through so many processes
There you go.
to make me feel safe, to where I don't have to go to the ER. I don't like have to spend $1 gazillion to like, and I know how to suture myself closed or to close myself as well. Like I've been getting hurt since I was a young kid, and I've been a daredevil since I was young. And when I would come, my mom was a nurse, and she also works for like eye doctors and like is in the medical field.
Mm-hmm.
So like I come home and I'm bleeding out somewhere, and she just like pulls out the wire brush and brushes out all the concrete, and then sews me closed, and then gives me some pills, and I'm like, all right, I'm good. So I've been around the medical stuff since I was young, which helps in all this. Like when I was 14 years old, my mom would like bring me like medical journals and medical like advancements that happened, and she would like give them to me and I'd read them. And then I had the medical encyclopedia that I can't think of what the name is off the top of my head right now because I'm a tiny bit drunk. But anyways, I would look up things that I did, phrases I didn't know, or long ass like Latin words of something that I didn't know about the heart or whatever it was that I was reading about. And then I go, okay, I understand that now. And then I bring that into that. And like, again, I'm a pretend smart. I'm not smart, but like I have kind of figured out my way.
You've
learned.
You've learned. Like, so you are smart.
You needed to learn.
Yeah, you're
smart.
You're smart enough to realize that you need to learn stuff.
Yeah,
yes, but once again,
that's the only smart thing you need.
Once again, only the dumbass is the one that claims to be smart, and like
True.
I do not claim to be smart at all, even though I think I'm learned. But
you're smart enough.
Again, I don't.
He's SMRT. He's smart.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, folks, ladies and gentlemen, I believe we went over all of the subjects. Once again, if anybody wants to donate money to us, in my PayPal, it's all going to go towards the stream of yards that we all use to stream. So Mango, the Pip, and other people soon will be on it. Vila and other people, Queen, me, but we're planning to bring on more people. But if we get more donations, you'll have more people on the panel that will be able to join for no amount of money, right? So if you throw us everybody throws us a couple dollars, we're all going to be able to be on here on the StreamYard to share it and be able to stream with you and for you and bring you more content. And that's what we hope to bring you more in the 2023s is more content. So, once again, we're not like asking something for nothing. we're asking something for something.
pussy
You know what I'm
again.
saying? And there's
Somebody
a
wants
mama
to say
showing off her pussy.
hi.
Aww.
Yes. Yeah, and that's
Just crawled up.
socialism. Exactly. Get some
Yes.
crashers.
If I can give you some next week, I will.
Sweet. We're wait. We
play
have
it by ear.
We have a week. Yeah, 1 week tomorrow.
Okay.
To pay for it. I'm gonna pay for it, but if once people start paying for it, then we'll get it more paid for. And once again, I don't mind paying for most of it, and I am totally doing that because guess who streams the most?
You.
That's some dumbass.
Me.
Some dumbass full of tattoos and metal.
Yeah, exactly. So, but like once again, you're helping a cause, and we're not just asking for money for foods or for our vape pens or for things that we don't need. We don't need a stream.
Food is something you don't need.
Well,
money
for Red, he does.
instead of actually helping feed our children who are malnourished.
Yeah, exactly, Timely. But once again, like we're asking for like this type of cause for this and to help us do things and stuff. We're not saying that like, we're not asking for anything that we shouldn't be. And once again, if you all, food is overrated, Skits. If you give
hell no, Skits.
We'll
take that back.
We'll definitely do things and things for the peoples. So thank you all very much. What I'm going to do is everybody say, Vila, are you going to be doing anything in the near future?
Yes, not this Wednesday, but next Wednesday. I'm hopefully going to be doing a little live ghost story thing.
Ooh.
I'm going to still try and do some live streams, but I am also thinking maybe doing more actual video uploads might be a good idea.
Okay.
So I'm going to start trying to do that, but it's going to be a bit shit at first because I don't know how to video edit.
I forgot
all my training, and even then I was using software on like Apple stuff, and it's all going to be different because everything I know is a decade out of date minimum.
Yeah. So we'll help you with that as well in the future. So all you got to do is just hit us up and ask us questions about doing that. But
you'll
Vila
pick that up
doing
quite quickly. You'll pick it up.
And
Vila, if anybody could give her a nice program for her to edit, like that would be very nice. That would be appreciated by all of us.
An easy one to use is called Animotica. It's free. And it's fairly easy to use.
So people hit up Vila in the Decima chords to help share that, or if you put that in the side chat right now, for an Apple. Is that what you were saying that you're working on right now?
No. I've got a normal computer.
So you're a PC.
She's smart. No Apple stuff.
Okay, so if anybody,
like the industry standard for that kind of thing.
Yeah, no, I know.
I prefer PCs just because unless you are doing serious
really
video editing or music work, things like that, the average person for average use isn't going to need an Apple. You don't need to pay for the just for the fucking sticker of an eaten apple.
Yes, okay. So speaking of that, if anybody wants to hit up Vila in the Decima chords and share with her video editing applications or things like that, please do. And Vila, you and I and other people will be talking with you behind the scenes to help you get through that, because I've been doing that for a gazillion years. Anyways, Brainless, do you have anything that you want to share with us or anything you're doing in the future?
I'm hoping Pip's gonna be streaming again, and of course on Thursday there's probably gonna be a TMI show.
TMI. Mm-hmm.
Will you do me a favor, Brainless? Will you do me a favor, Brainless, and post the Vanishes channel in the Saitama chats?
Also, speaking of Danish, so don't click any link from Delicious Danish in the Discord.
Yeah, in Discord.
Yes.
No.
She unfortunately clicked a dodgy link and got hacked. So
gotcha.
Don't click any links that she's posted in Discords, please, because like then you're going to get it, and it's going to be shit for everyone.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, anyways, that is the thing, bobbers in that, and brainless. I believe, from what the spirits of energy have been telling me, you may be involved, maybe in our StreamYards, and you may be like streaming like games or something. Maybe, I don't know. That's what the gods are telling me.
Hello, brainless.
I know I dumbfounded him. He's like,
brainless. We can't
you
hear
with
you.
Us? You with us?
Sorry.
Okay, there he is.
I was looking up Delicious Janie's channel, and I still had a couple of tabs open.
It's okay. It's okay.
And
we thought you were ignoring us.
I got it in the side chat.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Anyways, brainless may be doing stuff too.
Just like you reminded me about our conversation about it.
It's okay.
Yeah,
Alex.
thanks for reminding that. I believe on the servers that the link got posted, she also mentioned it. But like, yeah, the shitty thing about the thing was also like it also put it in every group chat she was in.
Yeah.
And then it left that group chat, so she could not tell people it was a bad link.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, of course.
So,
okay.
Yeah.
So, anyways, we got that figured out. Mama, what would you like to let us know about?
I put a TikTok out today on my channel. It's all funny. It's all funny TikToks.
Funny.
Yeah, go check it out.
The last one I had last week, the social warrior cringe, whatever it was, social justice cringe.
No, the last video on this TikTok one, I that one was just.
You mean today's?
Yeah, that was.
Hoping to put out one on Chili tomorrow because he's up to stupid again. So.
Oh God.
And then Thursday, look out for my what the hell, Karen.
Definitely.
So. It'll be all on the Discord, so don't worry about that.
Awesome. So, if everybody would go into the description and like, subscribe, and notify on all of the people that are in there, then please do, because we're all going to be doing things in the near future. Let's see, what was I going to say? Something about something. Tomorrow is going to be Hick McDickerson, and he is going to be going over cryptids in the Americas.
See, this is what I wanted to ask. So, from a good old Hick McDick's accent, I'm guessing he's from the south, and I didn't know if he has any friends in the Appalachian Mountains.
No, that's way too north. He is in Mississippi. He's
okay.
He's
Because I heard
south.
of a cryptid from the Appalachians that I've never heard of before called Not-a-Deer.
Okay.
And I wondered if he knew anything about Not-a-Deers.
He may know about it. I don't at this point.
They seem interesting.
The new thing that he's bringing up tomorrow is the Loveland frog, which is a frog man from Loveland, Ohio.
I was gonna say yes.
So it's one of the cryptids that I don't know anything about. He does, obviously, but we'll go over to Bigfoot, Mothman. Let's see, Chupacabras, which I know a bunch about growing up in San Diego, next to the Mexican border.
Yeah,
and then with the Loveland frog, which is a frog man. So that's what we'll be doing tomorrow. So I hope all of you join us for that. And speaking of that, devil, let's just get the fuck out of here. So everybody say goodbye, and we're going to get out of here.
Bye, motherfuckers.
I got a shelf here. Bye.
Bye, nice people and
skits.
Tell me if you're still ashamed. Where